mute the microphones, but I need to fix an overlay thing.
Okie dokie.
Well, you guys know that. I was just telling the stream for anybody who may be in there.
Subject to stream things.
But the video call thing, oh, it's frozen. That's weird. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no! No!
Why is the video call frozen in place?
I don't know.
What tragedy is forecome us?
Alright, I sent you the thing, McJigger.
I'm real confused about what's going on here.
I am too, especially with what it paused on in terms of our faces.
Yeah, right?
That's weird.
I gotta say, we got some good faces there. Time freeze.
I
Yeah,
just
that's gonna be
accidentally
entire
deleted
stream.
myself. Oops.
Oh, deleting yourself's pretty bad. Like,
Yeah.
not a fan.
Oh, that's probably what happened. Did that fix it? Except for me, because I deleted myself.
Let me look at the actual stream.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are moving now.
Ah, yes, we are. It's true.
Lives.
Beep boop beep boop. But
The legends are true.
now, I like minus zoom down, and you apparently shouldn't do that. I guess.
Yeah, you gotta leave it up, or it's gonna get weird.
And I need to check my Discord for the thingamajig. Open and save.
You're a thingamajig.
Hey, don't you say mean things to me. So how is everybody? We didn't really. Well, you guys were chatting a little bit while I was kind of like clearly not paying attention. But how is everybody? What's going on?
Oh, doing pretty well. Playing video games. I got into a game I haven't played since I was in high school.
The Phoenix, right?
No, Phoenix Wright is separate. That I'm gonna get into. I started playing Guild Wars 2 again.
Oh God. Ooh,
actually,
how is
I
it?
played Guild Wars 2, so
Oh, nice.
I'm going to be getting back into Final Fantasy 14 in a little bit, so
It's probably a
I
better
can't knock
game, but I
anybody.
wouldn't know. But Guild Wars 2 it's interesting. It's the story stuff is not as good as I remember it being. But that's also because my character is level 38, and I got a thing because I hadn't logged in like 6 years. So they send you a bunch of stuff being like, hey, you should come back and play the game. And so I left my character 60, and like I had to go through some story parts where I'm like, I have no idea what's going on here, and also I don't care because
And
like
just like that, I
It's good.
updated the overlay.
wow,
It
damn.
was a seamless transition.
seamless transition.
But
Well
my
done.
window's a little messed up because I keep changing what camera I'm using. I have all the stuff to set up my real camera. I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm either lazy or something. Probably
Or
lazy.
something.
Yeah, something like that.
Hashtag
But-
or something.
It's a fun game to kind of just like play and have something in the background. It can be pretty satisfying sometimes. I like mostly play an engineer, so like just gonna throw myself around and kite things with
Nice.
pistols or a rifle or something. Yeah. And yes, I have been playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy because that came out last week, 2 weeks ago. Like the PC release of it, it's wonderful. It's so good. I'm so happy I'm playing it.
PC release, huh?
Yeah, they ported it and they like re-released it because it's a like almost 20-year-old game now. Well, the three of them are together because it's Ace Attorney, it's Law and Tribulations, and like whatever the other one is. I don't remember the actual names of them are, but they're those three. So
So many things just dropped on the Switch. Like every Final Fantasy game just came out on the Switch. The Phoenix Wright games came out on the Switch. What else? A whole bunch of the Altair. Is that how you say it? Altair games.
I have no idea what that is. So
It's a female protagonist JRPG series.
oh, that's
Slash like city management, I guess. Oh no, I haven't gotten the chance to play them.
A
They look cute as
JRPG
hell though.
A JRPG city manager. I feel like that is a market that is not saturated at all. So
I mean, I am totally into city management and JRPGs. Dark Cloud 2 was one of the greatest games ever made. So,
I don't really play too many JRPGs, so I'm just like, cool. Yeah. How
I
about
will
everybody
defend Dark
else?
Cloud 2 until the day I die.
Mm.
And people are like, what the hell is that? I'm like,
It's a game.
you know nothing.
Dark
That's true.
Cloud's fun.
So,
You
Yeah,
know nothing of the world.
I got a
Glowing
little bit of
endorsements.
news. I get to be in the Wizards of the Coast War of the Spark pre-release event, sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. They gave me a preview account to
Congrats.
use on next Tuesday, which I believe is 3 days before the set actually drops, so I can kind of show off to all the peoples who want to watch all that stuff, and it's going to be awesome.
Nicely done. Look at all that magic you can play.
I regret nothing, Ark Survivor. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of magic. I made like a really goofy deck today, and it was actually working super well. But that's neither here nor there. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons, not Magic. But yeah, aside from that, I've just been like working and hanging out and not streaming as often as I should be.
Should be.
And along with everybody else on Tuesdays, Things from the Flood stream was totally out of it.
It totally wasn't as horrible as you thought it would be.
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't a bad session at all. It was just like not. I wasn't super.
I mean, things are bad, but not bad for Echo, per se. They let a maximum security, marked clearly dangerous patient at a psych ward loose that may or may not know magic, and it's fine.
That sounds fine.
Yeah, she
Magic in this.
she
economy?
injured and or killed a bunch of people on her way out, and it's okay because one character is like, my friend is free now, it's fine.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Oh, good. That's a good justification. My friend is free. We've killed everybody else.
She was like, it was clear there was something going on here, but she's free now. But there's a bunch of people who got injured and or killed. Yeah, but she's free.
Don't think about the ramifications too hard.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
that's fun.
I don't know. I guess we don't have a whole ton to talk about today before we get into it, though.
No, I can talk more about Phoenix Wright if you want, but
I mean, I'm okay with hearing you talk about Phoenix, right?
The whole
Phoenix.
section. Let's go.
Yeah, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Look, if somebody wants to do a Phoenix Wright tabletop role-playing game, let me know because I'd be down. As long as there is as many puns as possible in that game, I will be so down because that's Phoenix Wright in a nutshell.
I just don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know how you make that work, but that would be amazing.
I don't know how you make that work either. It probably have to be something like Firebrands-ish, where it's like a very much a give and take,
Mhm.
but still have that like kind of dual, like Burning Wheel duel of wits type of like you get like objections and take that and all that kind of stuff. It's also you'd have to kind of half codify the nonsensical legal system that is Phoenix Wright's legal system.
It's actually funny because at one point I wanted to make a Danganronpa tabletop RPG, and it would probably work almost exactly the same because they're virtually the same game.
Yeah, they're virtually the same game. It's just very, very different types of settings, very similar types of gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
The thing was, before I played Phoenix Wright, I played Aviary Attorney,
Oh,
Which
that's the one you were
riffs-
playing before.
which riffs a lot off of Phoenix Wright and like
But you're
those
a
types of
bird.
games.
Right?
But you're a bird. You're a bird in 19th century France, which is great. I love Aviary
Go
Attorney.
on.
Go on. You play JJ Falcon, the greatest attorney ever to live. Just kidding. You're just some random schmuck with a sparrow as your assistant.
I was gonna say it's like do people actually know you're a bird or?
No, they're everyone's animals in.
Oh.
They're like animals, but they have like, because like the art style is like 19th century newspaper cartoon style, sort of.
Mhm.
So it's like it's like people with like animal heads, but they still have like
Human bodies.
yeah. So like you're a falcon, and then like and your assistant's a sparrow, and like you're the main I think prosecutor, since you're a defense attorney, is like a rooster. There's like the judge is there are a couple different judges. One of them's a wolf. There's like a whole thing with wolves, and like there's a kingfisher who has this whole thing about not being called a fisherman.
Is he the coolest character in the game? Because kingfishers are awesome birds.
No, he's kind of um he it would be a spoiler to talk about what he does, but he exists.
Oh my god! I just looked up what a kingfisher is. That thing looks awesome.
Yeah, they're really badass looking birds.
The king of France is a penguin.
Nice.
As it should be.
Emperor Penguin, Napoleon Emperor Penguin. Got
No,
it.
this is King Louis Philippe, because this is 1848.
Mm.
Oh, I should have known with all the birds.
Yeah, exactly. All the birds.
Oh, bird.
I mean, there are non-birds. Like there's a porcupine who's like an artist. There's a what else? I'm trying to think off the top of my head what other people there are.
Humans, maybe?
Nope, no humans. Nope.
Most dangerous
Get out.
animal of all.
Yeah. There's a leopard. There's a cat and a lion. A lion who's like an aristocrat. Which is a fun one. There's a giraffe who's like a servant. Yeah, it's a whole thing with that particular giraffe. Oh, so in Phoenix Wright, there's like the Detective Gumshoe, who's there throughout the entire series, and Phoenix Wright doesn't call out that he's an absolute idiot. You just make him look like an idiot the entire time. Aviary Attorney has its own equivalent of. There's just some old Kaji like investigator who's the head investigator of like the Paris Police Department, and he's just infamously terrible at his job, but he always gets called in because he has to be called in. It's great. He's wonderful. So there is that, but no Edgeworth. It's a very different kind of character. Can't have Edge Boy.
I just realized I'm not wearing my glasses today, and I feel like the odd one out.
I wasn't wearing my glasses for a moment, and then I put them on.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna go grab mine.
I feel
'cause
weird.
My eyes are getting irritated.
All right,
Yeah, that's actually probably a good idea.
glasses crew.
My for some reason my hand is all weird.
Weird in what way?
Like fell asleep kind of way. I mean, it's still operational. It just kind of tingled on the back.
Yeah, Edgeworth is the
Probably
best
not a good
prosecutor. Not being not physically abusing the player is good. I agree.
Strongly disagree. More abuse.
Oh wow. Oh
No,
okay.
none of
Wow.
that.
Don't look. Leave Phoenix alone. Phoenix is a good boy. He didn't go to law school, but he's a good boy.
I think it's really annoying that his name is Phoenix, but he is a Falcon.
Well, JJ Falcon and Phoenix Wright are two different people.
Oh, never mind. You know what? That was the dumbest. That was me making a terrible disassociation in my brain.
He has his shiny law coin. That's right. And Edgeworth became the city prosecutor at 20, as we all know. Started to go to law school at 15, something like that. Child prosecutor prodigy. I don't know, something like that.
Child prosecutor prodigy. Okay.
That's a Danganronpa character, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
What is it like? Ultimate
it's-
prosecutor? Is that how it would go?
God,
in
what's her
Danganronpa?
name? Kyoko, I think.
Is there an actual character that's like that?
She is the affluent detective, and then there's the affluent progeny, and then there's their like super detective or something like that. Which I guess if
Wait.
you merge them together, it's kind of like
affluent prodigy or progeny
affluent-
or prodigy?
Progeny.
So rich child. There's a
He's-
rich child.
He's an heir to a conglomerate that runs the world, pretty much. So,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's a little bit more than being rich, I guess, if you're
Yeah.
running the world kind of level, but...
It's the Bruce Wayne thing of my superpower is money. Like, you know. It's like, I'm rich, therefore I'm a superhero. I mean, there's more to
rich,
Batman. than
bitch.
that. I'm rich. Come at me.
Boop, doop, boo.
Yeah. Phoenix Wright's a good time though.
So I hope Rin didn't drop his glasses in like a pocket dimension or something. That would kind of suck.
I mean, he could have put it in a pocket dimension. He just like has to like reattune to like the item that gives him the pocket dimension.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to ask, how do I sound this week? Because last week I was having a lot of audio issues.
You
Sound-
good, man.
yeah.
Right? It's rough.
Cool.
A lot better than last week, that's for sure.
Cool.
Last
cool.
week was just like all sorts of sound issues. Last week was just like all sorts of technical issues in general. Like
Well,
it was just
I figured out what was wrong with the camera, but that was
Yeah.
that was my own dang fault for not doing a little research before I tried to jump into things.
that's fair. Yeah, a little bit quiet is what chat's saying.
A little bit quiet compared. Can you talk a little bit for me, Syncard?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hi everyone, me. That person who's been talking most of this
Hi,
time.
guys.
Hello.
That's true.
Listening to my wonderful voice all this time because I've been talking about Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I almost said Phoenix Wright, Ace Detective. He's not an Ace Detective.
Yo.
He is a detective, but he's not an Ace Detective. To be fair, nobody in that game's an Ace Detective. Everyone in that game is pretty bad at detective work, gotta say. Especially Detective Dick Gumshoe, if I believe that's his name.
It's a good name.
He commits a
Strong
lot of
name.
It's true. Like Phoenix Wright, professional attorney and burglar. That's like his thing. Yeah. Dick Gumshoe. Also probably the name that I've imagined gets the most mileage out of in the early game is Phoenix Wright's best friend from grade school, Larry Butts. Just goes through. That is a joke that just runs through the first and second cases. It's just, ugh.
My last name in the Things from the Flood game is pretty much Fox, so
Oh, good. Nice.
it's Fuchs, so it's like
Oh, Fuchs. Okay.
yeah,
that
I can't pronounce it correctly because I don't have a
Yeah.
dramatic
Imagine if
sounding
you owned
accent.
if you owned a pho place, just like I don't know, like, and because pho places can have very entertaining names.
Yeah.
Like places that are literally just called Pho King.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen several of those places. It was very fun. It's just like they have good pho too, which is the important
My
part.
friend once made a character named Dix, Dix,
Mm-hmm.
but we were all captured at one point, and he was put in a bag,
Uh oh.
and therefore it was a bag of dicks.
God damn it.
I can appreciate it.
Bag of dicks. Yeah. Oh, dicks.
Mm-mm-mm.
Dicks.
Would you like this big bag of dicks? It's so good. There were all of the jokes.
Good. As there should be. If you have a name like that, you have to know that there are
Right.
just going to be jokes about you the entire time. You have to know. Because otherwise, it's just going to be like, it's gonna be not fun for anybody if you're not.
Well, I mean, that was one of those things that was like, I have to do this at some point. Like, I have to have them be captured and have him put in a bag.
Yes,
Like, this must happen.
it's true.
I mean,
True.
it could have been the party's dick in a box too if you put him in a box instead of a bag.
That's true.
But it wouldn't just been dick in the box. It would have been dicks in the box.
Yeah, but that's why it's the party's dicks in a box.
Ah, there we go. See, getting that plural in there.
Mm.
Correct plurality. Well, plurality is different. Whatever. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. This is too much. Subject pluralities.
Reese,
Good
what you been
segue.
up to?
work,
Yeah,
home, work, home.
it's
Pretty
that
much the
life.
same thing I do every day, Pinky.
Homework?
Try to take over the world is my
Thank God,
guess,
no
but
homework. I mean, you've known about my evil plot to take over the world for years now.
yeah, but I mean,
Is it a plot if you tell everyone?
yeah, plots can be
So the
well
thing
distributed.
is, the way I think of it is, if I tell everyone, no one will believe me, right? So no one will actually look into it because that would be silly, right?
A cunning ploy. No one would think of that. Your machinations go undetected for years.
I will plan around the plans that they are planning around.
All according to Gagaku. Ugh. I like that. Kelsa, how was Firebrands other than the your beautiful dance food dinner that turned into a duel that turned into a sex scene?
I mean, we
Sounds like
we-
a successful
Yeah,
night.
you
we're going to be moving into a.
I feel like you could just
Then,
put all those together, by the way.
We're going to be moving into a stealing time together, but that hasn't happened yet.
Okay. It's moving there though. It's
Right.
the inertia's there.
See, I love Firebrands. And I love the fact that we had an hour and a half long conversation over food between 4 characters and 1 NPC that just kind of sat there awkwardly the entire time. Was the brother of one of the other characters. And it just every once in a while, one of us would mention that he's still sitting there awkwardly.
Oh, poor brother.
That character where the only response is like,
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Quietly.
Quietly.
Just like horrified.
Man.
I'm only here because I have to be.
Yeah, it's really great because this dinner was taking place at the home of the noble person in our party in the game. And they just kicked out their parents.
Oh.
And took over their title. And then my character is the landholder who's there to, support big business, his interests on this backwater planet. And the third character who was there from the beginning is sort of kind of a hostage, who's another landowner from a different faction, but I don't know that.
Sort of kind of a hostage is a great way to describe somebody like, by the way.
Sorta, kinda hostage.
We're not really sure their status, but they're probably a hostage.
Kind of working for the family, but also she kind of owes them a lot of money for a bunch of medical procedures that just took place. So she didn't die after the last mech fight.
Oh.
There's a couple of things going on there.
So she's a ward.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. But there's been rumors going around that this noble house it has kidnapped someone and is holding them hostage. And it's only kind of true. And so that's why our rebel shows up. And he's already drunk though, because
that guy. Okay.
He's having feelings. And
how dare he have feelings?
I know, it's terrible.
You make me feel things.
And then he sneaks off to try to find out where this hostage is hiding at, not realizing it was the woman who was at the dinner with them the entire time.
Oh. Well,
the plot thickened.
The plot, yes. It was very thick already, and now it thickens even more.
Yeah, and so
extra thick.
Then my character and the noble go off to have a sword fight like old time's sake, because we were college buddies who used to be in the fencing club. But then it turned from fencing into flirting and
flirting into fucking, all those F words.
There's a sword fight of a different
I just gotta say it hasn't gone that far yet, mostly because, Ray is still in the house.
That'd be
very easily walk in on this, which is fantastic because neither one of our characters know that.
I feel like for me that would be half the fun, but that's a whole nother story.
we'll find out.
Me too.
Well, that is an option. Let's see how that goes.
just like walk in immediately about face.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm
the
not here.
Simpsons grandpa meme in the brothel. Just walk in, put his hat out, turn, take his hat, walk back out.
Yep, exactly.
It's like, what's going on here? Never mind. I don't want to know what's going on here.
Nothing.
Nothing's going on here. Sir, what's going on there? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't go in there for your own safety.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. It looks like we're going to open with all four of us are still in the house. And it looks like we're going to open with 2 concurrent stealing time togethers. And then see where that goes.
Lots of intimacy from the sounds of it.
Well, one of them is an
Potential.
intimate conversation more than intimacy, probably. But
Probably, question mark.
Lots of flirting, maybe, but who knows?
So very much.
Yeah.
So Max, lots of flirting, some hostage,
Yeah, exactly. That's a it's a good game of Firebrands.
Yeah. Flirt.
That's amazing.
Flirt. I mean, every game is just flirt. Little did we know, there's not actually any other names for these games. It's just called flirt.
It's
So
called flirt. Well, there's flirt, there's awkwardly flirt, there's flirt in front of a bunch of people and have them judge you for it.
there's
My wife knows that like I just flirt with everyone. It's all I do. So
I'm
there's
just
fight-
terrible at flirting. I'm like,
There's
you are a fine-looking human being.
I
I
like
like
you,
your skin
right,
cells.
How do you do, fellow humans?
Yes.
how
boop.
are
Let
boop.
me reproduce.
Fight flirt. Yeah, exactly.
Cute.
Fight flirt, robo flirt.
Mm.
I like robo flirt. Robo flirt.
Robo flirt.
Yeah,
That's what I've never heard of.
you flirt in mechs. Robo flirt.
Oh, yeah, no.
I see.
So it's like that one anime where you pilot with the other girl's butt.
Oh, anime. For no reason. I love it.
Get in the robot, Shinji.
Get
In the goddamn robot.
Next, Shinji.
Get in the mech, Shinji.
All right. Well, our new character is back, so I think maybe we should kick this thing off.
It's Shinji.
Oh no, am I playing Shinji?
No,
no.
you are not playing. You're not allowed.
Hopefully
You're
not.
not allowed to play Shinji.
No one's allowed to play
If we ever did want to play a not shitty Evangelion, there is a rule set for it based on the Dark Heresy rules, and it's Adeptus Evangelion. And
Oh, right. Yeah.
Also,
Glorious.
Lancer is hot right now.
Also, Beam Saber.
Yeah.
Beam Saber.
the old I played it like during the old betas, and like the AT specialist was basically just a 20th level wizard. You could get so good with your AT field. It was like after a certain point, I can put the other Avas into orbit just by launching them and successfully get them back to Earth without burning up. And it's like, this is great. I want this. I want to keep playing this. And of course, the game didn't last, and I was sad.
No, it didn't.
I've played one game of Beam Saber and I'm gearing up to play. That was a one shot of Beam Saber. I'm gearing up to play some Lancer probably soon-ish? Question mark.
Lancer. I have
Lancer
tried-
Alpha here is very clunky. Like not just crunchy, but clunky. They still have work to do on it. I believe.
I remember trying to read Lancer like a month ago, and I was like, "This is a lot. This is like." I basically just like skipped the rule stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna go look at like the lore stuff because I think that's interesting, and it was very interesting.
Hey, time to wake up.
Sorry if my keyboard's super loud. I need to
That's
make
alright.
a command. And I'm
That was my
just-
wake up alarm. Sorry if that was loud too.
I
Oh.
didn't.
Didn't hear it.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Yeah. But
On normal days, this is my wake up because I sleep after work.
Mhm.
right. Lancer is one of those games where I probably would have to watch somebody play it before I could really judge it, especially with the mechanics that it has. Because like it just has like it from what I have heard, it's like it does the very Blades in the Dark where there is free play, and then like it very structures the battles, which are the score equivalent for Lancer.
Mhm.
So like the tactical battles are like very much like what you would want from something like BattleTech. And then like the rest of it is very free play. So it's like there are those divides, and it does those divides very well from what I've heard. But I haven't played it, so I can't judge that for myself.
I supported it on the Kickstarter, and I just haven't actually dug through the most recent edition of the rules, so
Mm.
I probably should do that.
Yeah. Maybe we should play Dungeons and Dragons since that's what we're here for.
Sounds weird.
Wait,
I
is
don't
that
know.
why? Is that why I was doing this thing? Okay.
I mean, this could just be a
that explains a
game.
lot. I was real confused. Like
This
I was
is-
in this
I really
voice
think we
call,
should
kind of just
like
sitting
a
here.
game conversation at some point, though.
Look, I am fine with doing a show where we just talk about games and role playing
Right.
games. I'm fine with that,
Right.
but
I think we should do that. That would be awesome.
We could pull something like that off.
I've only found one dragon so far.
yeah, it's true. We've only gotten to like what, one dungeon maybe. Like only one dungeon and one dragon.
And I mean,
False
it depends on what you call a dungeon. To be completely honest with you,
I
Like,
mean-
that could have very well not been a dungeon at all.
It's true. Or you could consider the entire jungle a dungeon, which means you only ever go to one dungeon. So it's dungeon and dragon.
I mean, we really haven't gotten to
Also,
the dungeon side of it, and there
a
is
fairy dragon isn't
dragons
even
here.
really a dragon either. I'm gonna flip to the
there,
roll
there are
20
two
screen so we
actual
get focused.
dragons we can come across
Dragons in the name, it counts.
in Chult.
Oh,
There's a
though.
dragon turtle.
multiple
Well, yeah,
dragons.
that,
New
count,
dragon
that,
turtle.
that doesn't quite count, but there's on the map here where you are. I don't know where the encounter is, but on the Mistcliff Mountains, I think way further south, there is a dragon lair somewhere, and if you go through that route, I think it was if we took the albino dwarf guide, he has a little quest to go reclaim his ancestral home. One of the dwarves asks you to go help him reclaim an ancestral mine that's been taken over by a dragon. So it's very like jungle.
So the same story reused over and over again since the first Drist book. Got it.
Since the
The
first
fourth
dwarf was
Drizzt
ever
book.
introduced to a
Thanks.
story.
Thanks, The Hobbit, because that's the entire story of The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Is
We
it
need some
a-
burglars?
Is it a lonely mountain?
No, it's
the
a nice
first
little mountain
Drizzt
range here.
Oh,
I thought it was called Misty Mountains, and this is called the Mist Cliff Mountains, which makes it even more of an offense. They may be self-aware of that, though. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
it's actually this little mining spot right here, but
Ah.
yeah, you don't know about it or have any reason to go there unless you talk to one of the two dwarves, and the shield dwarf is a dick. So
Oh, good.
people pass him over because he is a jerk.
I
Oh.
mean, you act like I've actually read the module we're using.
Oh, well, I mean,
Someone has.
you
I mean,
clearly-
I've-
you clearly
I've-
have because you gave us the best guide. Iku is the best guide for sure. The only other one that's good is and I know Rez is listening because he's partial to Azaka because his character's dating her in another game. But, the other female guide, I forget her name, but she's the one who talks shit about everybody else on her,
I
like
can
why you
figure
should
out
pick me
who.
instead. She's got a nice storyline that only Outro should know about because reasons, but that one's a really hilarious storyline when you get further in.
I feel like if we would have picked any other guide, we would have been dead by now, though, because
That's kind of why I said Iku was the best one.
Iku,
half of
OP,
them are not
she's
competent.
a freaking coddle, which
We
is
don't.
crazy.
We don't need combat competent guides. We just would have died on Firefinger instead. It would have been
That's
fine.
what I mean.
One of the other options we get is a rich guy who spent all of his money and his fat manservant. We get Gaston and LeFou if you pick them.
I was
Oh,
gonna say Voldo, but you know, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Gaston of rich?
Well, this character is just a rich hunter asshole, and he basically spent all of his family money. So he came down here to try and make a quick buck, and realized that there is no money to be had out here.
Dr. Livingston, I presume. Ugh.
They have a pith helmet. I insist he has a pith helmet.
No, I would shoot him on sight.
So,
Fire.
anywho, when last we left off, we lost a companion. It was a sad moment.
Mhm.
Iku had a little bit of a breakdown, which I believe was shared with with Shadow. Was it Waxy or Shadow?
No, it was Shadow because that was while we were digging her grave.
Okay,
And
that
she
makes
ran
sense.
off, walked off, and Shadow walked off, and then they had a little moment.
Yeah.
She's not on speaking terms with us right now, I think.
I don't think she's not on speaking terms with you guys. I think she's just like pretty, broken up about the situation and like trying to process. Like she's trying to deduce what the hell is actually going on because why the hell are there zombies? Even though like
Why are there some?
the zombies weren't what killed Truffles, but the giants, the zombies, there's something going on in the jungle that's not normal to go on with the jungle.
A wizard did it.
Oh,
A wizard did it.
probably.
Oh, that's what killed Truffles. A wizard did it.
A wizard did it.
A
Look.
lizard killed Truffles.
Look, if there are frost
Essentially-
giants and there's like an ice like sphere, a wizard did it. It tracks. Look, also logic for why zombies and frost giants are related. Zombies are dead. In order to preserve corpses, you need it to be cold. Frost giants come from cold places. Therefore, zombies and frost giants make sense.
It makes total sense now.
Ah, shit, they're all White Walkers
Why'd you just have to logic the undead? Get out of here with that.
I mean, that's necromancers in a nutshell, is logicking the undead. So,
Eh.
next character will be a necromancer. It'll be really strange.
So I
Guys,
believe
guys,
when we
my
cut
turn is
off,
coming.
we were pretty much like within eyesight, but still like a couple miles out from the Anzaro. Is there anything that you guys want to take care of before we walk back in the gate?
No.
I
Not
think
for me,
we're
at
all
least.
Pretty beat up and just want to get back in there at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably most noticeable with Shadow because you're normally like a smartass and you have a sunny disposition all the time, but like right now you're just like you're not being
I
your
just haven't said anything to anyone.
doofus of a self.
And I think it's also noticeable in Waxy, at least anyone that pays attention to her, that she is, it's her tail which always gives her away,
Hmm.
is just like completely drooped and almost hanging between her legs. Even though she seems to be like paying attention to everything and keeping up with everyone just like she usually does. But there's definitely a bit of despondence to her walk.
Everybody's a little sad. We lost a small friend. A good
And
small
you're still
friend.
friends.
But yeah, so I guess Iku kind of takes the lead and like walks in. She has to display her paperwork even though the guards know who she is. It's just like procedure that needs to go through. You travel through the arch. So let me pull up the map so I can actually point out where you guys are. It's this one. Oh, it's super zoomed in. Also, I want to apologize in advance. There's small people above me, so if it sounds like there's banging and crashing, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but it's because
No.
there's
Can't hear it.
children's
I
above
got
me.
my brother and my nephews over too, so I might have background noise at some point as well. But it's no biggies.
So you guys are coming in through the entry point near the old city, I guess. So before you get to like the walls and the checkpoint, there's some shops or like some, I guess, tanneries and places that like you would keep outside of town because it either smells or takes up a lot of space or is unsavory or something like that. But it's Yeah, you walk through those, or I could actually read the book and see what number 2 means.
Either or, it's fine.
Yeah, you know.
My one question
like
is,
a lot of work.
do Shadow and Waxy have a place in the city that like actually hang their hat, or do we have to rent?
Yeah, I would imagine you guys do. It wouldn't be much bigger than like a studio apartment, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it-
like just some place to like put our crap and collapse for now.
Yeah. You probably operate like with some assortment of the minstrels, the Tabaxi minstrels, unless you don't want to be associated with them. We can figure something else out, but they kind of are, I wouldn't say nomadic, but they move around the city and they go on adventures and they don't stay stationary, as we discussed in the first session.
Sounds about right.
So it may be like you have a place to stay, but it may not be the same place every time. If that's
That
what
works.
We have like extended family that we can always crash with, or something.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that you do have like extended family that's still around, but they don't own consistent residence. They probably, it's, I forget exactly how I described it in the first session, but like the minstrels set up like, I wouldn't say tent cities, but they set up little circus-esque areas, and then they reside there more than they have like stationary homes within the city.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
And
we'll
actually,
probably-
so the book description of Old City, which is the entry point you guys are coming in, 3 ancient vine-covered ziggurats tower above this crumbling ward. The whole district is a juxtaposition of ancient and decaying, but still occupied, stone-structured, interspersed with flimsy new huts and longhouses of bamboo and thatch. The old city is run by beggar princes in a mocking parallel to the merchant princes of the city proper. Pretty much that.
Rockin'.
Yeah. So it's a little shady.
So I turn to Iku and I say, Iku, we are going to go store our things and I guess relax and decompress for a while. I will stop by your place at some point soon.
Wait, were you saying that to Iku? I totally blanked
Yes.
out. If
Mhm.
yeah, wow. I thought you were, for some reason, I thought you were talking to Waxy. But yeah, Iku kind of like
"Damn, no goals."
responds as I just did, surprisingly enough. She's kind of like caught off in her own thoughts, and she kind of like gives you the like, yeah, huh. And it seems like she has a place to be, or a person to meet, a thing to do, but she doesn't know what order to do the stuff she has to do.
I kind of grab her by the shoulders for a second to try to snap her out of it, and I say, Iku, we have to focus. This is important. Whatever happened to Truffles is, we have to figure this out. It could happen to someone else.
So now you care more. Now you care about this, not just your treasure hunting.
I care about my friends. I care about my people. I always have. You know that. I may make jokes, but that's what they are. Jokes.
I do, but this may be a big task to take on, is what I'm saying. Normally, not to call you out, but like your objectives are usually pretty to the point and for yourself. It
People
seems.
don't understand my objectives is the problem. My objective has always been to bring history and wealth back to Chult, to get our people out of the gutter and out from under the thumb of the princes.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I'm not rich, so I have to do things my own way. We do what we have to do to survive around here. You know that.
And that's fair, and that's part of the reason why I need to go off on my own here. I have to speak with the princes. I seek counsel. I'm going to go to the temples. I have to figure out any information that I can before we head back out to the jungle. It's the least
Okay.
the least I can do. I need to know why I wasn't able to revive her.
Let us know as soon as you hear something, okay?
Yeah, I'll send someone where and I guess we'll set like a location or like you know where she lives, so you can just kind of
Well,
show
we
up at
know
her
where
house.
she lives, but if she can't get there, what the heck is the name of that tavern? There were two of them. I forget the one we went to.
That's a
our
good
place,
point.
not, like, the fancy schmancy place.
There
Oh.
are do.
One of them was a dinosaur one. A dinosaur name, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe that was just me thinking about it because we did dinosaur races afterwards. So.
Why am I having so much difficulty finding this?
I mean, don't worry about it. Basically, like, as long as she knows what tavern I'm talking about, I'll just say something to the effect of, like, you know, drop us a line at the tavern and I'll check back there twice a day.
I'll be there drinking.
You
Guys,
know me,
fine.
just going to go get drunk a bit.
Just making sure that there's no messages.
Mm, hmm Yeah. Not just going there getting a drink, just for the messages.
It's the messages.
The messages.
This is going to
Calibration.
kill me trying to figure out the name of those two bars. I don't know why it's not just right here where it was. Oh well. Anywho, so Iku goes off on her own. She kind of goes to figure some things out. I don't know exactly what you guys intend to do. I need to figure out the name of the bars so I can tell you of places that would make sense to pick up a potentially new comrade. But
The two were the Thundering Lizard and the something else.
yeah, the
That was-
Thundering Lizard was one of them. Good call on that. That's
House
the,
something. I think it was something House of Respite, or I think I don't remember what the quiet one was.
I think the Thundering Lizard was the like kind
Was
of
the loud
dive.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
dive
loud dive bar-y one. Yeah,
That's the one.
That's the one.
that's
that-
the
I
one.
think the first thing that Shadow's gonna do though is go and find like his traveling residence wherever it is in the city. Like, you know, talk to some of the performers and minstrels and just kind of get a feel for like where everything is set up so that I can go crash and drop my stuff and wash myself off.
Yeah, and it may seem like a little funky to us, but it's like that's general practice for like a Cholton Tabaxi. It's
Mhm.
not super strange to them, so like, yeah, I guess it's just a thing.
So that's where I'm headed.
Oh, I should have wrote down the mask I had.
I need to take my crying shower.
So Yina, you may get left alone in a foreign city for a little bit. How does that make you feel?
Fun, great. That's really good when I'm feeling despondent.
Is
Sure.
it is it like a narrative reason to roll on the wild magic table?
Not really. Like,
I don't. Is there like any narrative justification for it or anything in the book regarding
literally, you
I
only
was not planning on leaving Nina alone. Can we not take her with us?
literally the only time wild magic comes up is if you cast first level or higher spells.
that? Okay.
Yeah, that's the only mechanical way. Like the other thing it says is the DM can also choose anytime they feel like it.
Yeah, it's true.
Fair.
But like,
Nah,
yeah.
I'm not gonna do that right now. But I just figured I made an assumption there, Reese. I had assumed that like you going back home meant like you were going to go like cool
Yeah,
your
no,
head, get alone time in, you know.
No, I'm not gonna like leave anybody like without anybody else right now. I figured we would all go back and have a place to put our stuff and then go get washed off and figure out what we want to do, you know?
You know, we have a place here in town. Come with us. Let's get cleaned up and.
It's quite possible, like, we could probably even say that Iku offered you guys, like, lodging in her house if it was something that you were interested in, but she may not
Yeah.
have directly extended it to, Waxy and, Shadow because, like, she knows who they are, and
yeah, I think would stick with her party, but also she would ask like, she like picks up the mask because she's had the mask of the beast with her for like a couple of days. It's like, do you remember who we're supposed to give this to?
Yes, we will get to all that later. I'm not. We will give him back his item. Fortunately, it's just
And there's no rush.
I want some time to decompress, if that makes sense.
I mean, for me, the thing is, like, I'm a bit of a active soul, so I'm gonna be going. Like, staying with the minstrels, right?
Yes, but it will not be easy for you to find us without.
Well, of course, I go with you. If I go with you, then I can learn from them. I need to. I again, active soul, got to learn things.
You can certainly learn from them while we are setting up and washing off and such things.
Yes, if I want to, part of being here is not just going and exploring the jungle, as fun as that is. It's also learning the culture. No, so that's part of it, and I think that will help me decompress. I don't know about you. You can come and watch. Shrugs. So, anyway, I'll come with you. I don't have anything I really have to do other than, well, make sure that crazy magic things don't happen again. Woo.
I would rather prefer that they do not.
Well, that's. I'm sorry. I don't. I thought you knew that when we came together, but that's a thing that happens with me.
So you can't control when it happens?
Kind of like goes like a little bit of a little bit, not particularly is how to mages term it wild magic.
Exploded in fire, so I'm assuming you cannot control it.
Not completely, no. I can control when it happens for the most part, not always, but for the most part, it's not harmful. As one of you, just like very like one of you saw on Firefinger. So, especially somebody who flew.
And I thank you for that. It
You're
was quite
welcome.
an experience.
Yes, I usually am only one with the wind, and not that one with the wind. You know, more levit.
Perhaps it will change.
Maybe being able to fly is always a useful thing, eh?
That I cannot tell you. It was a strange and exciting experience, to be sure. I don't know about health,
Well,
but
we'll see. Anyway, let's go find your family.
Yeah,
they
so
are.
Sean, I'll go start asking around with the minstrels and figure out where everything is kind of set up at.
And you can, yeah, I guess I'll just like give you the agency on that, like whether you have problematic relationships, whether you know everybody or just like your core group, or how things work.
I mean, I'm sure like everything else, there's people that like me and people don't like me, right?
Mhm.
Like, I'm not gonna walk up to a guy that like hates me and be like, "Hey, where's my house?" That sounds like a real bad plan.
Well, that's why I was like giving you the space to like kind of open up that idea of like what the community element is like.
I think that Shadow is much more well liked in the community because Waxy, these minstrels from our history have a long memory of when Waxy was a horrible child, when she was a terror in the streets and she would pick fights with everyone. Then when that kind of got nipped in the bud, she became very withdrawn and quiet, and so she never mended those fences.
I did
And
not know this about Waxy.
Try to give back to the community too. Like he really does like try to help the kids that are living on the streets and like, you know, that kind of stuff. So
Cool.
kind of makes sense that he'd be the one that would have relationships.
Absolutely, I agree.
Cool.
So as per usual, I let you do the talking while I hang back with Yina and maybe like get some street food or something.
Okay.
Tide
So
us over.
while that's going on, Rindis, did you want to get like I'm sorry, is it Jabari?
You're muted.
I'm
I am muted. Thank you. It's Jabari.
Jabari. Did you want to do like a vignette of your character? Like maybe you're somewhere nearby. I don't know anything about your character, so I don't know where or when to do said introductions.
So, Jabari is the younger brother of Merchant Prince Jobal.
Oh, okay.
He also works at the Temple of Joaquin, but he also could be at the Thundering Lizard because having the noble background, people just love him because he is noble.
Understandable, because money is power.
Yeah,
and
good old
power
position of
is-
privilege. Yep, and he follows the god of money, so
Oh, good.
Money, 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 money.
yeah, there's a little more to Jabari, but his paladin level is right now for Joaquin.
Okay.
Uh,
Cool. So, are you like at the Thundering Lizard, like drinking and eating? Are you trying to pick up gossip? Are you looking for anything? Do you?
How much news of the death curse has circulated already?
That's what I was actually trying to get at. Like, would you like to be an element in that? And then, if so, we could
Sure,
actually,
I can help implement that for sure.
because
I
we
mean,
could have you be
That would make
more.
sense. He's
in-
talking, so.
So, outro. Do you want me to whisper you an idea I had, or should I?
I mean, we could be transparent. Like,
outro.
Okay. So he's paladin warlock multi-classed. So his deity for being a paladin was going to be Joaquin, and I figured his pact patron was going to be Ubtao, since he's not quote unquote considered a god anymore,
okay.
or at least one that's heavily worshipped. So the idea I had then, if we were going to go that way, would be that, being a warlock and having a pact, the patron every so often pops in and is like, "Hey, I need you to go get this shrubbery for me for reasons." But
I need you to
Ubtao-
go kill 15 sheep. Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions, just do it. You have my power, and if you want to keep it, do it. Do it with a smile. But yeah, so probably had Ubtao, show up in a dream or something and being like, "Hey, something's happening. I need you to figure it out because you're one of my chosen. So go do it."
There's way too many dead people being actually dead. Okay.
Mhm. There's a lot of fuckery in my jungle, and I need you to figure out why.
What is this no continues garbage?
I'm cool with
Bought
that.
an
And can
Bought an extra
Ubtao
life? Too
now
bad.
have that like little fast urban accent that you I forget there's like a name for it, but the way
Which
that you
accent?
said it was like a kind of like a New York accent, but not Manhattan.
oh, like Brooklyn
it was
Bronx?
Yeah.
Yeah, Geis. Yeah.
Guys,
Guys.
okay, well, is that the voice you're gonna put for Ubtao? Because I'm
I'll-
concerned.
I'll think of. I don't know. I don't know these things.
Concerns.
Yeah. Ubtao is from Pittsburgh. Like,
Ah, bears. I need you to go into the jungles and find out what's happening.
it's
No,
like
he's
if-
just a mustache cop.
Yeah, he's
That's-
just a mustache god, the god of mustaches.
God of
no.
mustache.
Ron Swanson is his avatar.
So I was actually going to mention before we went into the Ubtao thing, like it's possible that Iku would be meeting up with you more directly than you meeting up with the party without
That's
her.
fine.
C-
Yeah,
But I
because
also don't
we're-
know how well Iku would chill with you though, because
It is
She a good
entirely
girl.
up to you because I kind of figured being associated with Joe Ball would make introducing it a little easier. So if she was going to, be the liaison, it would work because she has to go pay Joe Ball anyways.
yeah. There's the one I was looking for. Is there like an actual character description of your character, or is it just like
It's written in here, yeah. I mean, and of course, Kels drew a nice picture.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually put it into the game, so.
Put
Sweet.
the token up.
The token. Oh, that's a good idea. It's on the random battle map, but I will.
Random
pop it.
battles.
Random battle map. Perfection.
You're the knights who say Ooptow.
The
Yep.
knights that say Ooptow.
Yeah.
I need to switch my display. I only have 2 monitors up right now, so I like have to flip
Gasp.
between.
Only 2 monitors, guys.
So-
I mean, it's not that it's a problem; it's that it's different.
So is the
I'm just
Oops-
living that 2 monitor plebe life. It's fine.
is the Ooptal Joaquin portmanteau a Ooptkeen or Huatao? Which one is it?
I think they're
Hotel!
distinctly. I think they're distinctly separate for
They
for,
are,
for
yeah.
obvious reasons.
Well, obviously, but still, be very entertaining at the portmanteau, just to have it.
Look, you
it's
can't
just a
stop
fun
this
play.
shit.
Exactly.
It's just a fun play on the duality of Nyanzaru.
Yeah, exactly. See, there you go. Yeah, especially because you have. I don't even remember what Ooptao's about, but I know what Joaquin's about. And Joaquin, I'm just like, oh boy, all right, the god of the merchant princes, essentially. So
God of money and deals and making a profit. And Ooptao is just kind of like the regional deity. And he's just kind of like, yep, the Choltons are my people. And I made, all of this stuff for them. And I did all these things and really into bases. And then I saw them, like, he's kind of like real world God, where he's just like, I was here, I did stuff for my people. And then people started fucking up. So I was just like, I'm just going to leave them alone for a while.
It's real.
Usually-
It's real convenient that
Yeah.
you pick Jabal too, because he deals in the guilds and the sellswords, or the
Mhm.
guides and the sellswords. So it's like an immediate direct connection to.
Yeah, that's why I picked him, because he's a great segue into this. And basically it was like, yeah, he was an adventurer for a little while. It was like, oh well, there you go. And it's like, I'm just his younger brother who didn't want to become a merchant prince.
Hmm.
So
Instead,
with that,
he
would
just
you do you want it to be that you have done field research to learn stuff, or you had learned knowledge through like networking, or
I would have
reading?
been networking and
Okay.
probably hanging around the Thundering Lizard to get on with the next group that was planning to head out, because there's reasons to go into the jungle. And I could probably be the segue for heading into the big city, wink wink nudge nudge, because there's a few Choltons who know about it. So I could be like, yeah, we need to go find this place. Don't know where it is, but I heard it's important.
For sure. I don't think we're ready to even reveal the big place, unless you're talking about something different than I'm
The
thinking.
city that we would need to head towards.
Yeah.
Mangalore?
No, not
Oh.
Nangalore.
Okay.
We can
I was-
go to Nangalore. Nangalore's fun.
I was like, I remember Nangalore because I got a like rumor about it, but
Yeah, there's a main lost city that a lot of people know is somewhere out there, but they don't know where it is because it's been several hundred years and miles of jungle between them.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm interested in a lost city. That sounds like my jam.
yeah.
All cities are pretty cool.
We just
It's-
need that plot thread.
It's
to
not
start
like
doing
some
this.
living prince that's currently kidnapped or anything.
Nah.
Look,
Um,
is there a lot of gold there? Maybe. It might start with an E. You know.
I mean,
Look,
if there's
look,
gold
outro.
there, I'd be
Kill
interested.
the prince, and then we'll be interested because then he's history. Okay.
Ah!
I
We don't
mean,
give a shit.
That's not archaeology.
I mean, maybe I have
That's
action
that's
clocks going in the
murder.
background. You guys don't get to know that. But I did want to say the interesting thing about returning to Port Nyanzaru is that it both seems that there's a lot more, but also a lot less people than there were before. It seems like there's less in number, but the people who were here are more frantic. It seems like there's some type of urgency within this city. It also seems that the people who may have left urgently as well. So if you did start asking around, I guess we can gear it around that way and have the party introduce. Right now, Iku is going to go meet with Jabal. Would you, Jabari, be with Jabal, or would you like to meet with the party here? I guess I'm just giving you an option to meet Iku first or the party first.
Where
But-
is Iku going to meet Jabal? Is she meeting him at his compound or?
Yeah, more than likely, like going to the boss's office kind of thing.
Sure,
give
I
him
could
back
be,
his
I could,
lizard.
I could be meeting my brother. There's no reason to not have time with him.
Cool. So I guess we'll go that route then. Give me a second. Where exactly is Jabal's? I'm
Yeah,
trying to
it's a-
find where he's located because I feel like he has a specific point.
Probably. I would imagine so. Yeah, did we miss a war or something? That's what Yina would ask if she like notices like there are less like feels like there are less people and they're all frantic. It's like, did we
It's
miss a war?
not. It's not like wartime frantic. It's like tensions are high and there's clearly something going on, but it's not so clear that you're like, oh, well, this is totally freaking weird.
Did we miss a civil conflict?
Thanos did a snap, guys.
Who pissed
That's
on their
attention.
biscuits?
Run over to a merchant, or merchant. Run over to an urchin and ask them like, "Hey, what is going on?"
Well, see, the druid was the one who could talk to small animals, so unfortunately, you
Ooh,
cannot
damn.
talk to the urchin.
Ooh.
Wow. Low blow. Literally and figuratively.
Mhm. Now, so you're like you go to ask like a city dwelling city dwelling street folk. Man, I can't get my S's and C's out
City
tonight.
dwelling street folk.
Give me a I don't know, either I'll do a persuasion. Why not? It's not a hard test. It just is a test. You got an 11. So I don't really know what's going on, but a lot of people left. That fancy hat guy, what's his name? Volumthrimp. He's gone. Yeah, it seemed like everybody was in a real big hurry. There's something with the magic. It's not working. Healing magic specifically. And
Hmm.
people are getting sick. So there's a lot of scrambling around trying to figure out how to put a stop to it or even figure out what the heck's going on. Honestly, I'm not. I feel fine. I'm just doing my thing.
We had some issues with healing magic as well. How is everything with the community, with the people that can't get out?
I didn't hear what you said there. You were either too far away or my headset sucks.
I said, how's everything with the community? You know, the people that can't get out.
Well, the thing is people aren't leaving to leave the city. People are leaving because they
They're dead.
there were tourists, there were people who were merchants that left more abruptly than they normally would have. It's not so much that people were trying to escape or leave. It's more so that people needed to be somewhere really fast. I guess when there's a threat of some type of magical danger, people want to spend time with their family in their homes. And this, I don't know, it's probably like a halfling, and it does like a over dramatic shrug and almost falls over. You can
Thank you for
clearly
the
smell
friend.
that it smells
I'll
like meat.
give him like 30 copper. And I'll say, keep an eye out and an ear to the ground. I'm actually going to set up a fund for the people. So stop by the Thundering Lizard when you can.
He does like a little nod with a back step, and he's like, "You're most generous, Starman." And then like goes on his slightly drunk, slightly just spooky street person way. So yeah, you get that little bit of information there, and I guess we can. I don't know. Does Yina have anything specifically she'd like to do real quick, or does Waxy have anything she would like to do real quick before we kind of get the ball rolling on the plot progressions?
Yina would open up a can of worms with Waxy by asking her, "Who are the merchant princes, and how does this all work?" Because she's just like, because Iku mentioned the merchant princes, and she's just like, who are these people? Like, I should probably know this.
So because I don't know what Kelsa knows, the merchant princes are the free rulers of the city of Cholt. The Cholt does not answer to lords or rulers. They are a purely capitalistic society.
It's corporate America.
Yeah, it's corporate America, the city.
Oh, good, a plutocratic republic. Cool.
Yeah.
Understood. Excellent.
So, yeah, that's what it is. But princes are, I believe that prince in the city is a gender neutral term.
It is,
both
yeah.
female and male princes.
Yeah, they just keep it simple. Just it's neutral, like Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Vampire.
One. Are there any vampire princes in?
Boy, that would be awkward.
Nah, we aren't. Maybe if we were playing Ravnica,
Yeah.
you could probably
I don't think so.
insert Tomb of Annihilation into like a Golgari themed game.
New supplement.
I know for a fact that there are some in for Waterdeep.
New supplement. Portney and Zero by night. There we go.
Portney and Zara by night. Oh my
Uh-oh,
goodness.
we have a visitor.
Is it Alex time?
Child.
Hi, Alex.
Hello.
Hi.
One.
Hello.
He's about to pull out your
To,
cord.
to your adoring fans.
Hello.
That's why people come.
Hello.
That's why people come here.
Right there. You can see
Yeah.
yourself.
Hi, Alex.
Adorable.
Can we fight Alex tonight? We use him as a token.
You'd lose.
Remember when you theorized having Alex be an antediluvian in
Yes.
the LARP?
Yes. He was also a juice box at one point.
Mm.
Antediluvian juice box. What's the difference?
Everybody kiss.
An antediluvian juice box.
Say good night, everybody.
Night.
So yeah, I explained to you about how that I mean, don't
I explain all that.
yeah, explain all that.
Cool.
Just like that.
Trade, and there's no lords, and also no peasants, but also there's classes because of economy.
Cool.
And
No monarchy,
Because
but
of
cap.
economy.
No monarchy, but way more capitalism. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yina's just nods, just like, all right, cool.
Going across the ocean to see the rest of the world was very strange. How do you all function with?
I'm not the best person to ask. I usually go from city to city. Not usually a person who stays in one place a lot at the time. I had my own
Makes
troop.
sense. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, not really under any like princes or anything, but that's interesting.
You would,
Always
you
good
would
to know.
probably fit in really well with the minstrels if you do have like a nomadic style of living.
Yeah, it's the like she was part of a like performing troupe before
Mm.
she became an adventurer, so like yeah,
Mhm.
more travel type. That's why the minstrel's always just like, oh, the minstrels, that's cool.
Yeah.
Neat. All right.
But other than that, she doesn't really have anything other than like getting to the minstrels, meeting some people, learning some Chilton dances, and like trying to just like get that like tension out of her system because she lost that spring in her step with a dead comrade. Need to get that
That'll-
back.
Like-
that'll
like-
do it.
We're hanging around the tents, like the carnival city, and you're like, aren't we going to go do a thing or another thing? I'm like, no, we're just gonna wait. It's just eat your carnival food, whatever. And then like
Eat your phone.
as it's like closing down for the night, lead you around the back, and it's like, okay, now is when it starts.
Cool.
It's
Good.
like 2 a.m.
Excellent. That's exactly the time you want to start learning how to dance. Is 2
Yeah.
in the morning.
Right.
2 a.m. Perfect time to dance. Let me tell you.
Drunk dance.
I mean,
Yeah, drunk dance.
I've probably danced at 2 o'clock in the morning most of the times I've danced in my life. to be
That makes
completely
sense,
honest with you.
actually. I believe it.
I wish places that I danced in stayed up till 2 in the morning for the most part, because they don't.
I don't
That's
know
why
how
you
to
have
dance,
to
and I
be
feel
dancing
super awkward in clubs.
Around the
so-
campfire after the carnival closes.
See, there we go. Outdoor dancing. It's great.
Yeah.
Do it.
They don't really give you a lot of information on Jabal.
No, there's not much information on any of them really.
He likes maps.
Yeah, he's a dude. He does stuff. You gotta talk to him to get a guide. That's it. The end.
He's cartography man.
Cartography.
I think it's like treasure
Wow.
maps, not like cartography
Oh.
maps.
Oh, okay. So he gives you very vague maps, is what you're saying.
No, he wants maps.
He
people
wants
to-
them. Yes.
Oh, he wants a vague map. So should we just draw random vague maps and be like, yes, this is here?
Here's the thing for you, sir.
I mean, I don't even
It
know
has
if you
an X.
guys.
It's official.
Yeah, obviously, treasure right there. Don't you see it? X marks the spot.
That's what the X means.
Yeah, I see a scheme shaping up that Yuna would not make because she would not think of that.
So would Jabari be in the office with Jabal before Iku gets there, or would you kind of bump into Iku, or would you like show up after she had already been talking?
He can show up. He can show up. He can show up after she's done talking, so you don't have to role play with yourself.
Yeah, because
That covers
that's what I was trying to avoid so much. But
Oh, well, in that case, no. He's gonna let's see you act out this scene.
We're all gonna be there, just be far enough away that they can't actually interact with us, so we can just watch.
Mm.
But yeah, I guess,
come
like,
in at the tail end of the conversation.
Jabari shows up as or not Jabari shows up as Jabal is making a statement like, we're getting reports from as far away as we're all over the Sword Coast. This is a worldwide problem. Healing magics aren't working, specifically with people who fall to death and need to be revived. Anybody who has already been revived is dying at a rapid pace. Well, I don't think you're the best person to explain why it's a financial crisis, but it's a problem. And I think if we can figure it out as it pertains, or figure out if it's something we can solve here in Port Nyanzaru or on Cholt, we could capitalize and save the world and get some recognition for it as well. I know you're all about doing the right thing, but I like getting paid for my work. And that's like, I guess, when Jabari walks in, because that's Jabal talking to Iku.
And Jabari, being both a paladin and a warlock, oozes that charisma, and so he probably takes a very straight back, broad-shouldered stride as he walks in, and he says, "Brother, Iku, it is good to see you. I am hearing that there is trouble, and I have come to help as best I can. It is sometimes said that doing what is right and earning a profit can be mutually beneficial. You would agree, yes, Iku?"
She sighs and then she nods. She's Jabari. Good to see you.
It is good to see you as
And-
well. I heard you had gone out into the jungle.
Sometimes it takes different means to get to the same end, so if you guys need to work for money to achieve the greater good, so be it. I don't hold it against you. As long as we're on the same side and we want to get this problem solved. I'm totally off today. That was the Jabal voice, but I was Iku there.
That's all right. Yeah. Suddenly blender noise, so I had to mute myself too. And he says, "Well, I heard your last foray into the jungle was not so good. Um, I am grieving for the loss of your. Uh, what would be the word? What would be the word of somebody that they're watching over? Your charge.
Charge, thrall, something.
It is not often that you have to come back with tales of losing someone, but I imagine that was not your doing. I know for a fact that you have a good heart and would not let somebody die on your watch.
Would you have any idea why there would be frost giants? And you hear Iku curse and whatever the Faerunian equivalent of fuck is. Fucking
Probably fuck.
frost giants.
Let me do.
It's the middle of the rainforest.
Do you for like hearing rumors going about? Could I do? I guess it's an investigation. Or could I
Yeah,
do,
let me
like,
pull up that.
persuasion
Let me
together?
pull up that sheet, and I think it will actually be. Isn't there? No, that's 3.5.
Yeah, there used to be like a gather information that was kind of.
And there was like knowledge local or knowledge city and stuff like that, but that doesn't
So a
exist anymore.
history or an investigation from the sounds of it.
History
Yeah,
or
it-
investigation. You get. You
I
can
was
pick one of
gonna
those.
say, like, could it be like, because getting information by talking to people was done through diplomacy in older editions, because you were taking the physical effort of talking and be like, hey, do you know anything, what's going on? So it's like, could you swing persuasion to talk to people and hear rumors?
Yeah.
History is also an option if you think
if you
better.
provide me with like something that seems like a reasonable means to obtain your
He would-
end,
He
go
would
for it.
definitely be spending time at the Temple of Joaquin, so he would be seeing all of these people coming in as they're wasting away to the death curse. But he also spends a good amount of time with the Thundering Lizard, so he would have his eyes and ears to the ground about what's going on. So I could do it either way, whichever one seems better for you. Because he wouldn't just take it lying down, just like listening. If he had the chance to talk and hear information about what's going on in either place, he would talk to people.
Well, yeah,
but
just roll with what you think would work best. Like, what
All right.
situation do you want to make an attempt on? Do you want
I'll
to
probably-
attempt to
I'll
overhear
probably
rumors? or do
say
you want...
he was listening in to things at the temple and then inquiring at the tavern, because that's where all of the real rumor mills are. So I'm going to roll persuasion and let's see what comes up. All right, not a bad start.
I'm going to try to find the rumors table because I have no idea where it ended up going.
On the subject of like gathering information and stuff, I had a setting that had newspapers in it as like a common thing, and I was like, and it's like, what do you use for that? And I was like, history, because that's the only thing that really applies here.
Mhm.
Other than if you have like a feature, like there are like there's a homebrew background that's like nomad, where you like, if you're in a place for like a day or two, you can just be like, I know a bit about the local culture, and like you can pick up new stuff. But otherwise it's like either it's going to be like a history check or like investigation. You're like, I'm gonna go through like records and check for this stuff and that kind of thing. The Call of Cthulhu method of I'm gonna find out why this weird thing is happening type of thing. So
Yeah.
putting that out there. Also, newspapers in a D&D setting are an interesting time. Let me tell you.
I mean, that could work for Dragon Heist because that's all an urban campaign. So
And
Yeah.
Ravnica has like machinery printing and stuff like that.
True.
Um,
It's the implementation that's interesting.
goddamn printing press, man.
why can't I find that? Oh, that's why.
Damn the spread of literature.
You can't have the peasantry learning.
The things to do category was minimized, so I couldn't find the gathering information tab in my list of resources. What did you roll? You rolled a 19.
19. Just talking to people specifically about the newest happenings with the death curse. So he wouldn't be interested in any of the like other rumors.
So you may actually get intimate information from somebody who's actually like victim of the death curse. Somebody
Mhm.
who had died adventuring before, been brought back to life, and is now seeing both their soul and body collapsing,
Oh, fun.
slowly but surely. So they provide you with like a harrowing detail about what exactly is going on with them, and tries to explain something that's kind of inexplainable with the the seeping of your soul out of your physical presence and all that nonsense. Beyond that, there's been like whispers of strange happenings and like I wouldn't say specifically anybody knows exactly, like they aren't pointing fingers at the guy on the front cover of the book and saying thars be the bad guy.
Darcy, bad guy.
It's just, wanted posters and it's a picture of a generic lich.
Liches are dangerous things. Are you sure this is who we are looking for?
A lot of times when it's an uncomfortable truth, but a lot of healing magics work very directly in line with the necromantic magics. It's all about the cycles of life and death.
Yes, but undeath is a step outside. It is an abomination.
Some people don't follow the rules.
No,
And there is worry that a
rules.
powerful wizard is responsible for this.
A
And they're
wizard, you
using
say?
some type of artifact to siphon out souls before they reach into the other planes and ones that have been returned to this plane from death itself.
Hmm.
I feel that if somebody was able to do that, that would be incredibly powerful. The will of man is nothing to scoff at. If someone were to find a way to concentrate it and use it for a means to achieve whatever their goals may be, it's terrifying to think about. And I'm like guessing this is somebody in the Church of Joachim just having like theoretical conversation about like spirituality and how necromancy impacts it with you. But yeah, beyond that, it's just like, yeah, there's sick people around. It seems like people are making a connection to necromancy in some way. There's whispers, but nothing too specific about ancient artifacts that like have been rumored or seen in some of the history books of the world that did something similar to this, but no exact precise things. More like those instances on the History Channel where it's like there was a 3-word phrase in the middle of a 40,000 page encyclopedia from 1200 BC. Like, it's those kind of things. It's like a myth that's so far gone that it's lost mythology.
Gotcha.
But there's loose
yeah.
connections to strange artifacts.
Hmm.
Also, sorry if I over explained that. I didn't know if I
It's
was
alright.
getting my point across.
Hmm. So, Iku, are you planning to go back out into the jungle?
Yes. I feel it's important to figure out what's going on here because there is something strange happening here.
I am in agreement.
There's zombies in the jungle. And I don't know if you heard me about 3 minutes ago, but there are fucking frost giants in the jungle.
He kind of narrows his eyes at the mention of the undead, but nods thoughtfully at the mention of frost giants, and he's like, "That is very strange. Last I heard, they do not travel this far south. It is unusual for them to be here. I imagine that is something worth looking into, but I am more concerned with the growing number of undead. We have always had them here, but for them to be in such frequent numbers is concerning.
Yeah, these aren't just crypt dwellers. These aren't the ones that sparse the older encampments. These are there's a pungence to them. They're fresher. There's
You are correct.
the flesh is less leathery.
You are correct, and there are talks and concerns about the temple. And even Uptao is concerned. He has reached out to me about finding the source of this. And he'll look to Joe Ball and he says, I think that if Iku is planning to go back out, and we are looking to make sure that people here are protected, it would benefit you, Great Prince, if you have somebody with Iku that would be acting on behalf of the princes for the betterment of the people. Would you agree, Iku?
I appreciate your endorsement, but that's not a decision made lightly, and I'm sure council may want to pick their champion before just sending me out in there saying that I'm going to do it.
And he laughs a bit and he says, Oh no, Iku. I did not mean you to be the champion. I am volunteering to come and help.
Do you put your hands on your hips and puff your chest
Oh yeah,
out?
absolutely.
You do the Hercules thing?
No, he takes a full All Might pose and he says, No. Jabari is the hero here. I will help you.
Iku kind of like laughs, but knows you're like a spoiled rich kid. So I don't actually know that your character is a spoiled rich kid, but it's kind of like the assumptive behavior that Iku has with Shadow kind of extends to Jabari in an opposite way.
He's quote unquote an experienced adventurer like his brother who didn't retire when Joe Ball did. So that's explaining being level 4, but he hasn't gone anywhere with it since.
There's some questionable rumors around Jabal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even so much that they're questionable, it's that there's so little details that you can't really say what exactly happened. So
Yep.
He's not the most trustworthy of the princes, even though he runs the guides. And
there are definitely some shadier ones, but yeah, he's kind of there too. Yeah, he was the best option when I was looking at him, and I was like, nobody actually knows Wakanga, so I wouldn't tie him in just yet. We didn't go that plot hook, but he's got an interesting story.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says, no, Iku, I will go and help you. I will make sure that you and your friends get to where you need. I will do what Uptal desires and find the source of this evil. And we will get rid of it together.
So, I'm kind of backtracking a little bit here because I didn't really answer your question precisely on the persuasion roll. What exactly was the information you were trying to obtain? Just general information on the death curse?
Yeah, I was looking for general information on the death curse. Was anybody whispering anything about what's going on in the jungles? Any sources of the shenanigans? You kind of told me some stuff with like the hint of like a lich on a book and the workings of it in the temple, but I was looking more if there was any plot hooks that could get us back out on the road. So
there's definitely another plot hook that I don't know. I mean, you probably know what's going on, but I don't know whether your character would be able to make the direct connection, but because you got a 19, along with hearing about the sickness and how people are experiencing things and like what people are speculating to be the cause, you also were hearing another very strange rumor that that the city of Mesro, an ancient Cholton city, never actually fell during the Spell Plague, which was a catastrophic event in Faerun. I forget how many, like 300-400 years ago.
Yeah, I think it's like several hundred since. fourth edition, so
Yeah. So
not many, but it's been long enough that it's out of memory, or not out of memory, but it's not a
Yeah.
direct impact.
So you like it's not something that's been talked about recently to begin with, but it's also weird that people are saying that it wasn't destroyed. There's still a city out in the middle of the jungle.
Mm.
It just sounds strange, but it's something that you catch along with the information you received about.
That's would be interesting to Jabari because that's Uptau's holy city. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a good plot hook for him to be interested in going out to.
Cool. So with that, I guess Jabal is like, I can see an expedition funded. That's not a problem, but if we're going to pursue this, how do you wish to proceed, Jabari?
Mm.
You seem to want to take a leadership role. Are you trying to run as a force of Cholt, or are you trying to make an independent expedition out there? Take the fame for yourself.
I think this would be good for all of Cholt and the people of Nyanzaru. There is no glory for myself. I serve Uptau, and I serve Joaquin, and I serve the princes.
Ah, little brother, you either intentionally misdirected your response or didn't hear my question.
And he grins a bit and he says, well, I still have to play the game, brother, even if I did not become a prince myself.
So do you think you got it under control, or do you want the guards?
He considers, and he looks to Iku and he says, these people you went with, are they capable?
Yes. But she says it like she thinks on it.
She has Shadow run through her mind briefly and she doesn't know what to say.
She just like sighs and is like, oh, yeah, I guess.
Do I have to admit that he might be competent enough?
Well,
He's
no,
like-
that's actually not the concern. The concern Iku has is wild magic sorcery.
Oh boy. Well,
not that
Doesn't
she's.
she get a pass for being cute though?
It was
I
the one
mean-
who had a feather beard, and I am concerned.
Iku's lawful good, so she kind of sucks with the whole like, oh, you're fine because you're cute.
Wow, lawful good, killing it.
Killing it.
Killing it.
Killing it.
But she says they do have great capabilities, and I see a bunch of potential. I've known Waxy and Shadow my whole life, and while Shadow is problematic and, in my opinion, a nuisance, and she says it like with a little smirk on her face.
See, what I love
He
about
does know
that
what
is
he's doing.
how everybody else actually likes Shadow.
Mhm. Yeah, like Iku has the unpopular opinion.
That's adorable. I love it.
It's not like I like him or anything, Baka.
Nah, it's well, I mean that would be silly, but maybe. I don't know. Start making your rolls, Shadow.
I mean,
Trying to get some
I
snake
posted
lady.
it. I posted it earlier. There's the
That was
Shadow
wrong.
X Iku ship.
It's true.
Cool. So Jabal's like he doesn't like do the look at the time thing. He's just like, all right, I need to wrap my head around things. I still have dockets. Shit. I forgot. There were so many ships that had left suddenly. The port is well, I wouldn't say understaffed, but they're overwhelmed with the amount of work that has come in with all of the tourist and trading business making a departure at once. As soon as the word of this illness reached and was said to be completely widespread, people, I mean, I guess rightfully so, panicked. Well, most of us are experiencing no situations. Loved ones obviously will be.
Mm.
So he's like, get the hell out of my office. And kind of does the
Yeah.
shoo, I'm busy. Like, our meeting's over. I need you to leave.
And Jabari will nod and say, "Well, Iku, take me to your friends then. I shall measure their worth for myself then."
All right. So with that, we will transition out of the scene, and Equal will walk with Jabari. But I want to use the bathroom, so I figure we take our 5-minute break.
Awesome. I'm down.
Sounds good.
Yeah, cool. All right. Hey everybody, thanks for coming by. We'll be back. We'll kind of trickle back in, so probably about 5 minutes, or you'll hear somebody pop back in. I'm not gonna mute the audio. So see you in a few. I have returned, but it seems like everybody else is still away.
I'm here. I'm just over on the side eating my dinner.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. There's someone in my Discord just linked the thing for Hero Forge where they've got better posing for the figures now.
Oh, nice.
You can like manually tweak them like at various joints and stuff.
Yeah, they were kind of restrictive before. I got a few minis from there.
I've made some hilarious ones, one of which being a character for Dragon Heist. Let me see if I can find the picture for this guy, because basically he was just a alcoholic swashbuckler who didn't enjoy wearing pants, and so
I mean,
running.
nobody really enjoys wearing pants.
It's true. But yeah, one of his claims to fame is like the early part of Dragon Heist is getting a tavern for your guys and having to figure out how to get money to not only repair it and then fund it to keep it going.
Mhm.
And he was able to fuck his way into getting the entire building refurnished without paying anything, because it nat 20'd on a persuasion check, and the DM was like, yeah, I think he can be convincing enough to furnish the entire thing. And it's like, all right.
Nice.
It's like, well, that's him. That's this character now. It's like he's the guy who gets stuff done.
I can dig it. Until you realize that a D20 is a very swingy thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
the dude who's supposed to be getting shit done is just not doing it.
Oh, that's this character entirely, because the last like 6 sessions, I've never rolled above a 10. And while he is still the guy who gets stuff done, he just gets it done hilariously badly.
Yeah, I know it's frustrating for a lot of people, but I love when like ridiculously like powerful people just straight up suck at something, and when like really shitty people roll fantastically. It just
Yeah.
like it adds an interesting layer to narrative.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the rest of our group can be incompetent to the point that it's detrimental.
Mm.
And so it's like,
You gotta kind of do the min maxi strats.
yeah, it's like, well, it's just you gotta have those moments where you understand that you're still playing a module game, so you have to be invested in moving the story along over the shenanigans. So it's like, if your shenanigans are keeping you from getting the story done, you shouldn't be doing them.
You need the shenanigans that move the story along.
Mm-hmm. And those are the shenanigans that I endorse for my character and his partner. They get the story moving shenanigans, whereas other players, the story I'll always go back to. And Matt Colville coined the phrase, and I strongly support it, but the Wangrod defense of, I'm doing this thing because it's what my character would do, while knowing that he's actively sabotaging the party and keeping us from getting anywhere, to the point that we missed a very important story element, and he failed his faction mission by just being stupid. We were trying to infiltrate a noble's villa in the middle of the night. He was told to, because he worked for the Zentarum, they told him to sneak in, don't raise any alarms, and kill a person inside of this place. And his person worked for the Zentarum. My character is a drow that works for Bragan Diarth. And because that character, quote unquote, isn't very smart and isn't very good at things, my Bragan Diarth character is like, well, I can, help you because I'm actually, a rogue and really good at killing people. You're just a barbarian who somehow joined the Zentarum, but whatever. He's like, I'll take you under my wing and help. And so we infiltrate this place in the middle of the night, and somehow he decided that he couldn't see at all. So when a fight broke out in the courtyard of this place because magic shenanigans and they had like shadows as guards of the perimeter, we had to fight these shadows. And in the process of the fighting, while the rest of us had dark vision, he decides I can't see, so no one should see. So he casts fog cloud on himself while he's fighting this thing. And we're like, can you please take down the fog cloud? We can't hit this thing and see. And he's like, well, I can't see. And my character wouldn't know that. And it's like, no, dude, just take the fog cloud down. And so 4 rounds of, why do you still have this up? And it's like, you didn't ask me in character. And it's like that's fair, but you're being a Wangrod. You knew exactly what you were doing. And he's like, well, fine, I'm going to drop it because everybody walked out of the fog cloud and let me get beat up for 2 rounds. And it's like, yeah, because you're being a Wangrod and you did this detrimental thing. And he's like, all right, well, I need to see. So I'm going to cast Bonfire over here. And the DM's like, that's on the other side of the wall. And he's like, I don't care. He's like, all right, you light up this busy street alley in the middle of the night while you're trying to infiltrate. Everybody sees what you're doing now, and it's like, okay, well, abort because this mission is fucked.
And there's like a balance you can achieve. Like you can do things that are terrible and it work well with the situation. Like I understand, like everybody wants to achieve a goal, and like sometimes that's what needs to happen. You need to be on point and not actually play to your character's personalities. But I feel like if you get buy-in, because hey, players can do the whole buy-in thing just like GMs can, you can really make things work,
Yeah. And the biggest problem with it was, his whole thing was, it was like, my character is dumb. I'm just leaning on the character type. The character had a 10 in wisdom and just an 8 in intelligence. So it's like you have basic common sense and you have average intelligence. It's like you're not pants on head retarded in thinking that you need to scuttle your own mission for this crime organization you're trying to get in on. And then to make matters worse, because he alerted the entire city of what we were doing, of course the guards show up and they're like, you guys tried to break into this place, you did all this stuff, here's the code legal that explains everything, it's going to be 500 gold or you go spend a month doing hard labor. Nobody had any money except for my character, and so it was like, well, I guess I'll pay to get this out, because the character was still doubling down like, I don't know what you're talking about, guards. And they're like, no, people saw you, you're the only giant snake person in the city right now, it's like you can't act your way out of this. And it's like, I'll pay, everybody's fine, it's fine. And he's like, well, why did you do that? I didn't want you to pay my fine, I'm not going to show any gratitude or pay you back. And it's like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was both in character and out of character, just like, you didn't have to do that, I didn't ask you to do that, and my character isn't going to show gratitude towards it. Like flat out said, it's like there's going to be just no nothing for it. It's like, just
next time you spend a month in jail, bye.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was like,
next time just don't play with them.
Oh,
that too.
There was a very lengthy conversation about it, and the player just left. He was just like, well, he's like, I don't like that suddenly everybody's against me about this one thing for me playing my character. It's like, we're not against you, we're against the idea of, the sabotage. And basically, the DM was finally just like, let's just drop it, put it past, and act like everything's fine, because you guys didn't go to jail and all this stuff. My character ended up earning some more money, and he's just like, we did another job that earned us more money, and he's like, I'm just going to keep all of this to pay back, even if he says, you don't deserve getting any money because you intervened on my behalf. And it's like, you've got your payback, everything's fine, be cool. Is everyone cool? And it's like, everybody else was like, yeah, that's fine, we can reach this sensible agreement and stop talking about it. And he's like, no, I don't accept that. I don't accept that everybody's still mean to me. And it's like, okay. And then you just stop showing up. And it's like, well, Wayne Rod.
Woof. Some people just can't learn. But with that, everybody's back so we can get back to our game. And I believe what is going to happen is either from Jabal's office, we're going to go to Iku's house, or we're going to go to the Thundering Lizard to meet up with them. I don't know whether you guys wanted to do something first before we met back up and you got to get introduced with Jabari, but for the time being, I wanted to see if you wanted to do anything before we kind of crash the two parties together.
I just wanted to do some off-screen stuff. I wanted to wash up and take stock of my gear and blah blah blah. I don't want to hang on to that mask too long.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go drop the mask off to the dude before we go to the bar because I don't want to lose it at some point.
Yeah.
Well, you'd probably actually find Azaka at the Thundering Lizard, conveniently enough.
Works
So
for me.
Oh,
I believe that's where you find her. I feel like that's where it happened in the one show that I
We're
saw
gonna-
Azaka.
we're giving the mask back to her.
Seem reasonable.
Not mine. As interesting as it is,
Do not want.
do not want. I mean, it's hers, so
So yeah, we all head over to the Thundering Lizard to
drink copiously.
drink copiously
Drink
With-
your sorrows.
with
you
whatever money that we get from returning his mask.
Yes, return her mask. Drink.
Kat, can you please not rub against my microphone? Thank you.
But human, this is mine.
My I don't know why, but the hyperlinks on my Roll20 aren't loading, so I'm kind of like stuck for a moment trying to figure out like the actual thing that the book says about Izaka, but I'm pretty sure she's sort of like a rough and tumble, get shit done, more cares about
She's
herself.
gonna
kind
punch
of
you in the
person.
face when she sees that mask.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, good.
My moneymaker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Would
I don't think she'd attack her. She would just be very persistent in getting it back.
I mean,
Yeah.
Like,
we're-
hold up.
it's not like we're going to not give it back.
Yeah.
I feel like it would start out as like clearly a hostile situation with misunderstandings, and then like Iku and Jabari show up, and like Iku's like, Azaka, we were
You're
at
still on the Be Right
Firefinger.
Back
We were
screen,
able
by
to
the way.
we were able to obtain this. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
my adventuring party. Like we're returning it to you, kind of thing.
You're still on
Well-
the away screen, by the way.
Oh crap. Okay, thank you.
Hi, we're here.
I told you.
Hi,
I
we're
told you. I forgot how to stream.
Hey.
Oh,
No, it's
that's
us. It's our faces.
it. Us.
It us.
Hi.
Hello.
Yay.
Just realized both the second level spells I have are concentration.
Good job.
I also feel bad because I suddenly have the light spell too, and it's like, oh no, you wasted a spell slot for that.
Nah, it's fine.
I couldn't meta it and be like, don't take it because this new person will have it.
Is the new person a human?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, time to find out what they are.
Oh yeah, I can see your character sheet, so I can
You
figure
sure
that
can.
out.
You know what he'll be.
Mm-mm.
A hill giant.
I am a frost giant.
No, no. Come
wonder
to
you
fries.
asked. Funny.
Prize, fam.
Everything comes back around.
That's
I
a-
felt, I felt
Frost
really
giant.
bad about the gnome I killed, so I came to make amends.
That's a
Mm.
dang
Oh.
good character art. Is that like from the book, or?
I think it's actually a Pathfinder one,
Yeah, I
Mm.
think so. I've seen it around before.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good one.
but yeah,
I'll see it when I see
I was
it.
like, I'm not feeling black guy with blue eyes, but you know, he's not quite human, so we'll just make those gold instead.
Fair.
Mm.
It's weird to me. Sorry, as someone of
Um,
African American descent, blue eyes doesn't quite match up.
No, it doesn't. That is weird.
I've seen some people do the contacts and really pull off cool concepts with it, but it's like
Yeah.
they're doing it intentionally for that.
Mhm.
It's not the
for
natural
something
appearance.
special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if there's some mixed heritage, it's absolutely can show up. And like, there's a cool
Green
complete
eyes happen.
derailing the game, but kind of like still on topic because it's African culture. In Ethiopia, because they have Jewish blood mixed in there, there are African redheads that are just full on ginger redheads
Nice.
because they're mixed with Jewish heritage, and it looks amazing. And it's just natural, bright orange red, curly hair.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'll find a picture.
I did want to ask if you could provide the subtype of your race.
Oh, yeah, it's the. It was the standard one, the protector.
I figured after you said you weren't human, I'm like, I wonder if they're an Azamar.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Yeah, let me type that in there.
I think I've only ever played a Scourge SMR
All
because
three
they're
of them-
obviously the coolest.
all three of them are really good.
Yeah.
And it was a real toss up, and I was just like, no, I want the wings for
You want-
this one.
You want to be a bird.
Bored.
Oh yeah.
Many rules.
But that's not what I wanted you to do. I hate how Roll20 just like the sub race overlaps what it actually is. It's like just protector. It's like, no.
Roll20 does a couple goofy things that I feel like is because it's a web-based application, but
Script only goes so far.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they could probably have more resources invested into they could simplify some of their stuff to make it not have to process so much to get such small things resolved.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about coding. I just know how to talk like I know shit about coding.
Coding sucks. I hate it. And
I-
that's
I know
basically-
how to do SQL, but that's not coding. So
Yeah, it's most people in the IT background, it's hit or miss. You love coding or you hate it. And it's like, I'm of the variety that hates it.
Mm.
So sequel is coding, by the way.
I mean, yeah, but I'm of the party that like I have dabbled in Python and SQL is pretty much clear English in comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, but as server query
Anywho.
language, you can't. I don't know.
Let's get our asses back into this D&D game.
Yeah, let's roll.
So Shadow's going, taking a bath, checking his supplies, making sure the dead mouse that he left in somebody's mailbox 2 weeks ago is still there.
Did you accept the murder present?
Waxy, are you doing anything by yourself, or are you kind of just like blank space until needed?
I mean, I kind of want to do similar things to what Shadow's doing.
Okay.
But also, I didn't really want to like leave Yuna alone. But also, I'm not the one that's gonna introduce her to the rest of the Tabaxi. So
That's a good point.
I'm not going to put her through that.
Wow. All right.
so,
I think
so
it's a
maybe
good
maybe
thing.
what
I think-
happens is that Waxy pushes past Shadow and is like, Jolina, Yuna around. I'm gonna get cleaned up first.
Jesus.
Okay. So I guess while she's cleaning up, I will introduce Yuna to some of the minstrels that we know pretty well and
Okay.
are friendly with.
And how would you go about introducing? Like, are you like, hey, this is this blue person that I've
Jill,
been
this
hanging
is
out with?
Yuna. Like,
Yeah, I gotcha. Well,
I say she's like a friend to Chol. She's helping us protect the city and we're researching this new larger threat together.
So Yina, do you give like your stage name and do all the flowery, like, presents that is kind of your character's original design, or are you kind of like,
Hell
nope, I'm just Gina now?
No, she's still got to perform. Like she's still a performer regardless.
Yeah, and that's cool because I feel the like when you provide like I am what's your name?
Blossom of Wind.
Blossom of Wind. When you go into that and you like explain like you're a performance artist and this and that, and they're like, wait, I think I remember you from a few weeks ago. Were you at the Thundering Lizard?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen dances like that, but I've never been off of Church. You see, I kind of have to make sure that certain things are kept accounted for here. So I crave the journey. So,
well, at least I can bring a little bit of it here, you know, just a bit. And of course, I'm here to learn about yours as well. I need to have it everywhere. I was a traveler where I came from, so here feels comfortable, you know.
well, it would certainly be a pleasure to perform for you and exchange and share notes and I don't know, I guess kind of get the opportunity to observe each other's cultures. But I don't know if right now's the time. I haven't even thought of a name for this character yet.
I hadn't
Didn't ask
asked her
your
one
name.
yet. Yeah, I never asked. It's fine. Well, regardless, I mean, I am ready. I need to. There's some pent up energy. I need to get out a little bit. Traveling in the jungle, you know, puts you a little bit on edge. So
Yes, I can understand. Well, do take comfort when you're with the minstrels, but understand that some of us are very stubborn folk and may not immediately accept you for who you are right off the bat. So both be careful and be respectful.
oh, of course. Oh, let's dance a little bit, shall we?
Okay. I guess we dance. Let's.
Shall we
I love Tabaxi names, and I don't want to just like give a crappy one. Haven't decided. Haven't decided gender either. Did you feel that conversation was with a female, a male, or a non-binary folk there, Yina?
roll 1d7 to determine?
I didn't really have an opinion there. It was just like I was talking to somebody. It felt fairly non identifying.
We'll just say androgynous. What would their name be though? Bum.
Let's dance.
Oh, I found a good one.
What'd you
I
get?
like this one a lot. Busy Bee.
Busy Bee.
Yeah.
Oh, adorable.
All
Adorable.
the Tabaxi names are great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some other good ones. I just found a name generator.
No, the Busy Bee's fine. Like I was just like trying to come up with something original for myself, and I made it a goal. And now I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. Fuck it. It's Busy Bee now. Busy Bee is your new Tabaxi friend there, Yina.
Yay!
them be.
Tabaxi friend.
Take notes because I'm not gonna remember.
All right.
But
Tabaxi minstrel friend.
so yeah, I guess you kind of hang out with Busy Bee. You talk. You share performance pieces. You tips and stories and whatever you decide you want to do. While Shadow and Waxy go and get their own stuff taken care of. And time seems to fly by. It's nice not having to worry about the adventuring. You're kind of just being social in a comfortable atmosphere with like-minded people.
Which for Waxy means like pulling out a book and reading quietly while everybody else does stuff around her.
All right, Giles.
It sounds like Waxy had some traumatizing corrective therapy in their life.
I mean,
We're not going to talk about it right now.
That's fair.
Both of our parents were gone at a very young age, so
Yeah.
That is, yeah. All right, so we do go to the Thundering Lizard at some point, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say like once
Yeah.
while they're cleaning up, you're hanging out. It kind of like cuts out, and then you guys head towards the Thundering Lizard and bump into Jabari and Iku.
why don't you describe Jabari for us? Because I don't think we really
Yeah.
have a good mental picture.
Yeah, I would like a verbal description as well.
Yeah, so since it's
I'll
not
pull
just
up the token
interacting
too.
with the DM, Jabari is a very tall and, given his stats, I'd say pretty well built individual. He is of Cholton descent, so he has that rich chocolate skin tone. His hair is long and braided in short cornrows, and then it goes back into a ponytail that braids out. And he has nice, clean cut facial hair into a nice little goatee beard. But his eyes are a rich gold color, and he has a few piercings on his ear. But otherwise, he carries himself with a confident stride, and his armor and he's dressed in chainmail, because of course we are, with the basic gear they give you at the start. He's pretty. He I would guess you would describe him as heavily armed, but you don't see a weapon with him. He's got his armor, a nice red cloak, and there's a rounded tribal-looking shield on his back, but there's no weapon visible. But he moves and walks with a confident stride as he's beside Iku, and he's probably like laughing and joking with her, talking very loudly. Just a very boisterous person.
In no way making Shadow jealous.
In no way making Shadow jealous. Because I'm not sure what his relationship with Iku is, but as a force of good too, well, he's lawful neutral, so they probably get along on a basic level, but he accepts the fundamentals of good, being an ASMR.
Heard. So yeah, I guess we'll like, do you guys like get a table, or do you like bump into, do you wait outside for EQ? I don't know, like, we kind of would just fill in the blank, like, hey, we plan to meet here, now we're here, and then like go from there.
I mean, I
just
think
so
we're
we
all at
don't-
the table.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So, after meeting and like going over whatever information you wanted to go over of what you did while separated, Iku will introduce and say, my pardons, this is Jabari, brother to one of the merchant princes. He will
how
be
how
joining
well
us.
known is he as the brother of one of the merchant princes? Like, what is the likelihood that Shadow and I have heard of him, if not met him before?
There's near certainty that you've heard of him, but I don't
Mhm.
know if you've met him. I don't know. That's something you guys
You've
can
probably
decide.
you've probably seen him around, especially at the Thundering Lizard.
Okay.
He's one of those wealthy, friendly people that likes to be among the common rabble, and he's probably bought rounds of drinks before, but never like approached either of you two since it's our first interaction. We should keep it that way, really.
No, that's what I meant. Like,
Yeah. He's probably never approached you just by virtue of us having this meeting, but you've probably seen him around, and he's probably bought drinks for you guys while you were in the tavern.
right, not
Or-
for us specifically, but we
Yeah.
received drinks that you
Mhm.
bought.
And you might be like, oh yeah, I've seen Jabari around, and he's like, oh, you're the two Tabaxi that are always here, but you've never had a more than a 2 or 3 word conversation.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Yeah. And what is the like protocol for meeting
I feel
there's
I'm.
not really no
I
building,
can't
but,
say
like-
for sure, but I'm pretty sure the way it works in Chode is there's mutual respect. Like people, like
Mhm.
regardless of stature, people are good to each other.
Okay.
I mean, there's still badness, but like as far as
I just meant like would I feel obligated to like stand up and curtsy or something?
I
Mm.
doubt it.
not
Okay.
necessarily no.
He wouldn't stand for it either.
Just-
would be
checking.
like, would actually ask like, it's like, do I bow? Do I like?
No, don't worry about it. It's a very pleasure to meet you.
If you're
just
family
kinda
of a
thought,
prince, doesn't that make you a prince?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Technically, no. I did not want to get involved in all of that. My duty is to the people and to Joaquin. I help the people of Nyanzaru as they need it on a more personal level, and it is Shadow and Waxy. I have seen you before. We have not talked though.
I have drunk a drink that you've purchased, though. You buy rounds every Friday night, it seems.
That is true. I enjoy coming to the Thunderous Lizard. It is far better than the House of Respite. Too quiet there.
Shadow kind of side eyes Jabari and is like, Jabari, nice to meet you.
Of course. And he probably throws his arms up and hugs you, whether you want it or not.
I'm kind of like, oh,
Oh no, you're one of those.
I guess
Hugger.
like give him like the
no.
like eyes behind his head, and
Yeah,
like
and he probably is able to even lift you up and hug you. And I probably should have mentioned that too. He's like 6'4", so he's a big dude.
Shadow probably weighs like 90 pounds soaking wet. So
Yeah, but aren't Tabaxi like between 7 and 8 feet tall? They just
Are
slouch.
they?
I think really,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they're. I
Tabaxi
think they're
are
like 7 to 8
tall.
feet tall, but
Okay.
they slouch.
I didn't think they were that tall.
That's new. I didn't know they Warcraft trolled it. I thought they were small.
I
They're,
have
tiny. I thought they were just normal.
I could
person
probably
I have
pull it up.
follows open. Let me check.
that's super interesting. I love it now.
Tabaxi. So the base height for Tabaxi is 4'10", and then you would roll 2d10.
Okay, so their
Really?
max is
It's
7
just
feet.
Potential.
Yeah,
It's
so
roughly 7
they're
feet.
they're on average reading the actual thing. Where is it? No, not
I would
traits.
definitely have to
Who
be
had
more
told
than-
me they were tall? Maybe it was just a setting specific thing.
It says they're definitely taller than humans.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like their size is medium.
cat lords, tinkers, and minstrels.
But that's interesting because it was
Yeah,
wow.
I had-
Relatively slender.
Yeah, they're taller on average than humans and relatively slender. Your size is medium.
I was like, so they're not full on Navi from Avatar,
Right.
but
No.
that same kind of build consistency where it's super slender and
Yeah.
tall. Cool. Wow.
Where it's
You kinda, like,
feasible.
Now I kind of like look around at the rest of the table like somebody say something.
Nope, we're just letting you do this. We're
Oh.
just like,
Eventually,
So Iku kind of has, I guess, a eureka, it seems like a eureka moment, and she's just like, Yina, do you still have that mask? Azaka would be most thrilled.
I was looking to give it to them. Of course I have it. And she like puts it.
I like
puts it on the
look
table.
around again, and I feel like I know vaguely what Azaka looks like. And then we thought maybe she'll come by here, but not yet.
She'll likely be here. Though she's eager always, and she says that like half out of like genuine respect and half out of like she's gonna get herself killed one day. I don't think she would have had anybody to be making ventures out with, especially after the events that happened while we were out there. She's in town. I checked the charter.
Yes, she has quite the reputation. You are lucky that you signed up with Iku when you did instead.
Oh, that's good to know.
I wouldn't say that our journeys were especially fortuitous, but
But that is the risk
would
of
have gone-
adventuring.
Much worse without you there, Iku. Much worse.
That's true. We all would have been dead if you didn't soak those hits.
Yep.
Would have been real bad.
Rip us if that hadn't happened.
For sure. So, Iku, I did not realize you had such prestigious friends. Are you going to be joining us, Jabari?
As a matter of fact, I volunteered on behalf of the trade princes to come and see what is going on out in the jungles. The average number of undead has been rising exponentially, and we are concerned. I also have my own reasons to be looking into the jungle. Have you heard of the city of Mesro?
Have I heard of the city of
Actually,
Metro? Can I roll?
Agreed.
there's almost no way being in some form of connection to a historian would you not know of Mesro.
Right.
Okay, that's what I thought. Certainly, that is a very common
Yes.
legend.
I have on good authority that the rumors of Mesro's destruction are not entirely what they appear to be, and I would look into it myself. If you are willing to go that way, Jabari would be happy to help you in
Do you have
whatever you're doing.
an idea of where to look?
By the way, Shadow actually like perks up and starts like looking intently at Jabbar.
Well,
Eager's kind of like pissed because the way you guys were paying for her is going to.
I mean, we're still doing that.
Mangalore.
We're still doing that.
Yeah,
Like, they're in
but
conversation.
the context of that has not been presented in the conversation, so
We're
Eager's
excited,
just
okay?
fuming a little bit.
Yeno's just confused. It's just like,
what is
All right, I'll
what is
just
he fuming about?
It sounds like you're trying to steer them away from her voyage to Nengalore to go to Mesro.
Well, Mesro's
She
on
hasn't
the
said
way.
anything about that. She's just kind of giving the huff, you know.
Well, but Mesro's on the way.
We don't know that.
That's true. He would say, well, I wouldn't know that you guys need to go to Nangalore, so I guess I can't input either.
See? It's just,
Okay.
it's just great misunderstanding. Don't worry about it.
yeah, exactly.
Better. It's way better this way.
Hold on, let's see.
I love when emotional
Oh,
signals
okay.
get completely missed.
Jabari might sense that there's something going on with Iku. I was gonna say I have a -1 to insight, so I'm probably oblivious to it, and it's like, nah, net 20, you got this.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think Yeno might know if she knew what Mesra was, but she doesn't. So she's just sitting back being like, this is really weird. I don't know what any of you are talking about.
Don't place, man. I don't even know.
So to Jabari, it is obvious that Iku is annoyed and feels you're just presenting another distraction away from actually resolving the problem. That's
Iku,
what
my
Iku
friend.
seems to feel about what's going on here.
Iku, my friend, there is a storm cloud over your head. What is bothering you?
Well, it seems that you have all the answers.
Oh, far from. I do not know what this cause is or what the problems are. As I said to you and Jabal, I only have hearsay that Mesro is, in fact, still where it claims to be, or where it was said to be, and I wanted to look in on it. If this is not something you want to do, I understand entirely.
I feel it's a wild goose chase, but
I look
we're
up
going
at
in
Iku
that
with like puppy
direction
dog eyes,
anyway.
like, yeah, yeah, we can do it.
We have to make the trip to Nengalar. We have to.
So,
There's medicines that still need to be made.
to Nangalore.
Of course, we
Do
can
you
do both.
do you have a map, Iku? He kind of like looks between all of you.
We should certainly go with Iku first, unfortunately. As much as I would like to go to this lost city.
Well,
I definitely have like you ask that and I like pull out like a notebook, one of my multiple notebooks that I've been writing in, and I like push it across the table. It's not nearly complete, but
he says, well, I happen to know that Mesro is not too far to the east, a little ways south. If it is entirely okay with Iku, we can go to Nengalore first. I am in no hurry. Mesro will be there, whether we go now or tomorrow or a week.
How are you so sure? Last I checked, Mesra didn't exist anymore.
Uptao told me. He smiles.
I kind of like look over like you were saying. And I don't know jack about these gods. You were saying this is a god that's a deity that's not a god.
He's not widely worshipped anymore.
So
Okay.
the way Forgotten Realms works, like there's power levels of God, and
Right.
basically once you lose a certain
Number
amount
of worshippers.
you
It's
don't
sort of
become
this. It works the same as like the guilds in Ravnica a little bit, and like
Sure,
it's a
sure.
popularity contest.
So
it's in Forgotten Realms gods is entirely popularity. The more worshippers you have, the stronger you are. So Uptao basically abandoned the people of Cholt, and so his worship fell off, and so he went from a greater deity to a lesser one, which is why I'm like, well, he's just my pact patron because he, isn't
sure.
a major god anymore.
So yeah, but I feel like that is a history of. I feel like that's the type of history that Waxy would know.
Knowledge of Uptao isn't lost. It's just people don't worship him anymore. So yeah.
Right. So the idea that he's talking to you is kind of like, really?
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
What's the old man raving about this time?
So like side eye shadow over this, like talk to Uptao, huh?
Do you elbow Shadow in the chest when he doesn't respond to you?
No, I kick him under the table.
Okay.
More direct.
Much more direct.
I just shake my head like, you're obviously not paying attention.
So, sorry to cut in here. It's like Yida just like puts her hands. It's like, sorry to cut in here. You're talking about this Mesro and Uptao, and I know Joaquin. I know that, but I don't. Yeah, I don't even know any of this. Just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Hi, I'm here.
I am Jabari. I did not get your name.
Yina, Blossom of Wind for most people who know me.
He kind of thinks and he says, well, Blossom of Wind, it is good to meet you. And he'll not hug her, but he'll just kind of like do the Miles Morales hand on shoulder. Nice to meet you.
I love it.
Just
Hey.
does the same thing as Gwen Stacy. Are you going to take Is this she like it turns
Is
to
this
Waxy?
normal?
Is this normal?
So while that awkwardness has been going on, Waxy has been going through her bag and like pulls out a history book about like myths of Mesero.
I want a charisma saving throw from Yina to not be visibly embarrassed.
Okay, sure.
Or uncomfortable. You don't need to be embarrassed, but you would be uncomfortable. You'd be like, this is a weird social convention. I'm not cool.
Yeah, I know,
By
but
the
also
way, if his hand gets stuck in your hair, it's fine because
Oh,
your hair
no.
tends to fall out. So don't need to
no.
worry about
Oof,
it.
too soon.
I do have a personality trait that is I love a good insult even when directed at me, so this could just be
This would be
super
fine.
chill. Yeah.
I'm
We'll
not
find
saying
out.
that you would like have bad blood. I would just say like,
Eight.
ooh, that was a weird
Wow.
situation.
Maybe I'm lucky. I'm gonna use one of my luck things and reroll my charisma roll, because why not?
Because you need
This
to
is
look good,
honestly,
Bam.
this
That
is just for
one
flavor.
scene-
There's no real repercussion to this.
Look,
This
I
isn't
gotta look.
Burning
That-
Wheel where they.
The flavor is the repercussion, okay?
I gotta
I
look
mean,
stylish.
The bard. We're the bard. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, basically a bard. Not actually. Yeah, just a performer.
That's a sorcerer.
That was barely better. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
So you can't read the social cues of Jabari. You don't know whether he's being normal or making
I've ne-
advances
I've-
or
I've
he's
never seen anybody
awkward
else-
Or, yeah.
I've never seen anybody else do this, so I'm just like, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go with it. Maybe this is a rich person thing.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so like you look over at Waxy to be like, what help? And she's like going through her bag, which is like a different bag than what she'd brought on the adventure. Like when they went back home, she like went and got a bunch of books that she was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of them she pulls out and is like, it's funny that you should mention Mesero. Well, I was looking through anything about any of the ruins that might be found out in Short that maybe we might run into, and well, I found this one. It's not very detailed. It's much more fantasy than historically accurate, you could say, but still interesting.
That's good to know. She like kind of like pushes Jabari's hand up and like
after
off.
that long awkward moment. she takes
But
the
by
hand.
the way, like
Jabari's probably sitting there just like with a smile on his face, like completely unawares to the awkwardness of the
It's a
situation.
nice, big, charming smile.
Yeah.
right. I'm definitely like looking at Iku and like I crack a smile and I'm like under my breath. It's like probably the first time I've smiled since like everything went down. So
Nice. So that resonates a little bit, and she does more of a like, she doesn't smile back, but she like looks down and shakes her head. So maybe you see her lip curl up a little bit, but it's not blatantly obvious.
I get you. So Iku, we will definitely help you out first. Maybe we can try to take all the information and map out the way to get to where Jabari wants to go as well.
Of course.
It just kind of sucks that we. And she like kind of gets frustrated and like she bangs on the table, but not like super aggressively. She's like, "We were no more than 2 days away when we were up at Firefinger.
So
We
could
just
make good
hadn't
time to get back
returned.
to where
We.
were.
It was on my advice. We returned, and when we returned is when we ran into the giants, and when we ran into the giants is when we lost Truffles.
If we hadn't returned, we could have run into something much worse.
I'm sorry, you lost mushrooms?
There's like a
Truff-
glare. It's like, was a friend.
Oh,
A halfling from the.
It was not your fault, Iku.
my apologies. I did not understand right away. I am sorry for your loss.
We all agreed to return to town.
This was before the news of the issue going around, yes?
We
It seemed to develop while we were already in the jungle.
Hmm. This
Yes,
is
I
unfortunate.
tried to revivify the magic expelled from my body, but did not enter into Truffles.
I see.
Everything was done correctly.
It is no fault of yours. The magic has been failing everyone.
And she kind of does like, oh no, she's a damn strong, independent snake bird, but she kind of does the like, you've never experienced magic to revive somebody, leave your body, but not enter the person.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't have those
it-
levels yet.
She feels responsible because of the social reaction, or not the social reaction, because the physical reaction of what it feels like to have magic leave your body but not attached to what you intended it to.
Mm.
Should talk to Yina about that.
Oh yeah. Oh Yina. Got the opposite
mean,
of that.
She could, but I'm also like giving
Ooh.
a wild interpretation of magic, being that, you know,
No, it's.
Iku is a Kodal, and not a people.
I mean.
Kodals
Look.
can be people.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Snake birds are people too. Damn it.
It's true.
so we are to head out again, and see if we can find out more about what's happening, as well as make it to the place I can't remember the name of for Iku.
Bangalore.
Nangle.
Nangalore.
And make it to Mangalore for your medicines.
Be honest, we have no
Bangalore
idea
isn't going to be without its own challenges. There's always something or someone or something that decides to make their way there and either determine it as their own home or just
I'm ready.
cause issues. But we should be very prepared when we go back out into the jungle. We weren't before, and we know what happened. Let's learn from this and grow.
I'm more ready now than I was even at Firefinger.
Would
No.
you say by a numerical amount of one level? More
I can
prepared?
shoot lasers from my fingers. I am ready.
I'm level 4 now, lady.
I would actually love to like hear the montage of becoming a Sun Soul monk. Like I'm a big fan of when you gain archetypes and stuff like that, like it happening through natural progression within the game itself. No, I don't enforce that.
every
but-
morning at dawn, she has gotten up to go through her kata. And
So-
one morning.
So she's a Sun Soul monk because she gets more vitamin D than most
That's
other
right.
monks.
She did.
Where did you find Master Roshi though? That's what I want to know.
Actually, she did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 5-kilometer run every day.
Every
Single day for a month.
At least she
Forever.
didn't have to carry water to and from the village up and down the stairs, because that sounds dreadful.
One punch kitty. I like it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Punching river rocks. Anywho, so Iku says, I would like to rest in my bed for at least two days. Give 2 days before we resume our journey. We've had a rough 2.5 weeks out there. A lot has happened. I'd like to digest, and I'd like to commune.
Good, I'd like to go through all of these books. And I like take the book back across the table and like put it in my bag, and it's like got 20
There's
books
just a
in
section in the Thundering Lizard that's like new books. It's
Look.
it's not a tavern. It's a bookstore / coffee shop for our
Yes.
purposes.
Those
That's
places are
right.
great. Trust me.
All those Cholton hipsters. Yeah.
Yes.
All these goddamn bikes outside.
It's one of the few places you can get fresh coffee.
Mm. Mm.
Can relate.
With that, we have time in town to do in-town things. We could probably make a deeper look at some of the city elements that we kind of bypassed the first time we were in Port Nianzaru. Beyond that, we have about 20 minutes left of our streaming time, so I figure we...
Oh, we should give Azaka back the mask.
Oh, yeah, that's probably...
Yeah.
That's important.
I said that
Agreed.
out
That can
loud
go
a few
20
minutes
minutes.
ago to remind myself not to forget, and I still forgot.
Yeah, that'll eat up 20 minutes. Let's do it.
So yeah, Iku brings it back up again. Azaka would be thrilled to have that mask back. She's a
Oh.
hothead, though.
Oh,
And
that's
she
fine.
looks over to Waxy and is like, "Do you got this? You want to talk to her, or do you want me to lead the way?"
I'll talk to her.
Mm.
Where is she?
Shadow, has it been that long since the last time she kicked your ass? You're thirsty
Camera.
for another round?
Camera pans to Azaka arm wrestling two people on opposite
Actually,
tables.
Right now, yes.
I'll leave it to it, brother.
I was just gonna go talk to her, but nobody seems to want to tell me who this is.
No.
This-
I shared an
I
image
shared
of
it.
her if one of the party members want to describe it. Iku's
She
not
is a
gonna-
number one. She is another one of the guys that works for my brother. She is.
Has she actually come into the
Yeah, is she here? Is the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, she's arm wrestling two guys at opposite.
Oh,
tables.
okay, so she's very obvious. Okay, cool. If somebody just points her out, just like, oh, okay.
She's got both arms on opposite tables, arm wrestling, and someone else is like feeding her an ale, and she's drinking it without breaking concentration because she's just that badass.
Nice.
Love
This
it.
looks
I
like-
mean,
Probably not that badass.
yeah. Let's just say like if she's arm wrestling, it's probably one person, and she's probably actually focusing on winning it.
Mm. That's less cool than I described.
Yeah.
I want the cool version. I don't care about facts.
That's
Get out
fair.
of here.
That's fair. We can anime this shit up.
All right. I mean, we already resolved that this is an anime. We resolved that early on.
But Truffles died, so we lost our
I mean, there could
chibi.
be dark parts of the anime.
Yeah,
That,
fine.
I know. I'm just
Anime does that all the time.
We have two cat people still. Like,
Madoka Magica.
Mhm,
It's like
mhm,
we have the beach episode, and then everyone died.
yeah, pretty
Also-
much.
Also, outro her is also a secret, like Iku's was.
I only showed her, or I thought I only shared her picture.
No, you
Rindis,
know
we
the entire
we don't talk about her.
Rendis, I can't hear you
That's
because
her name.
Reese is talking over you.
Yeah, you shared the entire thingy. There should be one
What
that
the
just says handout of Azaka Stormfang.
That's the
you
one
wanna
that I
show us.
shared.
No,
Oh.
you linked her main thing.
Where
So
is she?
pretend you don't see that, people.
I
Oh,
can't.
no.
I can't even see where it is to remove it from.
Named
yours.
NPCs.
Oh, name. Gotcha. I'm looking for dots, not looking at a particular location. Man, folders are annoying in this. They need to organize differently.
Yeah, like I reorganized it because it is a mess.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can take that one, take the journal view out for us, but the handout ones are the ones you want to send the players because then it doesn't share all their deep secrets and motivations.
Yeah.
Oh, I shared Jobel too, but I thought that. No, I only
that
shared
one
the
you shared
handout.
the right one.
Yeah, that one is
Should
just the
they have
handout of Jabal.
Joba.
Guess what? It does not show that I. Oh, where is the shit? Okay, I'm getting too worried about this, and it's not even a problem right now. Shadow,
hmm
what are you doing as in regards to like conversing
So
with
is she
Asaka?
actually like arm wrestling two people with her? Like
Yes, she is.
She is doing something that makes her look intimidating in some way, whether it being, I don't know, yelling about a lost bet at the races or otherwise. She is a bit of a hothead at the moment.
Drinking competition That's what
What's her name again? Because you
Azaka.
Azaka. So I'll wait for her to win the arm wrestling.
You're gonna wait? All right.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
I don't know, fuck up her concentration, man.
L 17. Wow. Damn. Damn.
Guess what? She lost.
Oof. Damn.
I even gave that person the worst stats.
Oof. Wow.
But she lost,
much
so
for
she's
double arm
probably huffing and puffing more. She's not like resentful that she lost. She's just like, fuck you, and she throws over the coin.
I
that she
will
lost
actually
like
pay her pot out to the person.
and she like looks up and she's like, I don't. She looks and she's like,
Don't worry about it. We're friends. Buy you a drink.
where'd you get the money, Shadow?
Where do I always get the money?
I don't know. You probably steal it.
It's not stolen, okay? I was out in the jungle recently.
Oh, so you pulled it off of the money trees. Got it. The gold trees drop the coins in your pocket. I understand. Cool.
I
Anywho.
like this sassy one.
If you can't see, I'm a little busy here, and like the person who she was just arm wrestling with gets up and walks away from the table, so she's obviously not busy.
I did notice you were busy. That's why I came over, so that you could be busy with me.
You are taking way too long on this.
Shadow,
like
you flatter
pushes-
yourself way too much. I would never get busy with you.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yuna's gonna like push in front of Shadow, just being like, "You're taking too long.
Hey!
Stop beating around the bush." Hi, Shadow here is taking too long, so I'm gonna get down to business.
Don't say it. And I kind of stand up and like take a step back.
She's gonna sit down next to Zach, just like, so. First of all, hi,
Yeah,
my
start
name is.
coming to himself.
First of all, my name is Yina. Hi, I work with Shadow. Second, I have something that you want. Oh, not more than just want, actually. That makes it seem a little bit impersonal. You asked.
So
about-
as you say that, how do I say this without saying what I want to say? Azaka eye fucks you and says, "Yeah, you do."
Just,
I think that was the best way to put it.
yeah, exactly. Just smiles, just like,
That's amazing.
well, that's not quite what I meant, but
We can see where this goes.
we can talk about that. No, I meant this, and she takes out the mask and she puts it in front of Azaka.
She is like, oh no, she was not expecting this. She caught her off guard.
That's right.
What could be a nervous tick or some shit to give her? Oh no. She's like, where did you find this? And she I guess she kind of gets like defensive. She's like, how did you?
I'll
Who
give
are
you 3
How do you
guesses.
know I want this? And she's like, she has so many questions and they're all coming out really fast and it's in an aggressive, it sounds more aggressive than she is intending, but it's just who she is. So you're going to have to deal with it.
That's fine. I'll give you 3 guesses. Where I found it first. I'll tell you a little bit after that, but
I don't care where you found it.
All right.
First off,
Well,
how do you know that how did you know that this is mine and come to me and return it?
she
Jabari.
points
Second
behind
off,
her.
who the
She points behind her to like Iko and Jabari, just
Yeah,
like
Jabari will lean into Iko and be like, I suppose we should not remind her that she wrote down that she is looking for it on her guide pamphlet, right?
Yeah, she just like points back to Iko and Jabari, just like, "Eh, you know them, right?
In the
He
chibi
just-
version
just
of this
waves.
instance that is being like demonstrated, Azaka is in the background with a :3 face and ... in a thought bubble above her
Yep.
head. But she's like, "Who are you? And why have I never met you before?"
Well, I'm not from here, as you might imagine. As I said, my name is Yina. These
You
are
certainly
those
are exotic. And she says it with a purr.
Yeah, it's like, well, that it pays to do that. No. So, but I'm here to, well, adventure, to learn as well. I'm a dancer after all. I have to do that. She like cracks her knuckles, stretches a little bit.
Are you intentionally trying to impress her?
No, not no, not really. But like, it's kind of just her being trying to be casual about it. Just like, oh yeah, I'm not a big deal.
So you being
Kind of
casual kind of
advice.
seems, I mean, from what I'm envisioning Azaka in the social situation that I had set up for her here,
Mhm.
it seems like you're putting it on thick, but you may not intentionally be doing
Yeah,
so.
pretty much. Exactly. It's just like, well, because she does this like she generally just does this like with people. Just like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Like I'm a performer,
Cool.
I work out,
Um,
no big
Yeah,
deal.
I work out, no big deal.
All right,
Yeah.
so seeing that she sees like Nina is hot and waiting for some, I'm assuming that she's not gonna like murder Nina now. So I'm gonna leave her to it and go back to the table.
Azaka is way too thirsty to want to murder Mina right
The
now.
the problem is she is kind of at conflict with herself because she started doing the flirting before you showed her the mask, and the mask is something incredibly sentimentally valuable to her, which may
Mhm.
have taken her mind a little bit off of it.
Yeah,
But she still has an appearance to present.
yeah.
Like she has to keep her.
She is messing. Just Yina has unintentionally just totally messed with her feelings right
Yeah,
now.
you just mind fuck the shit out of this person super hard.
Whoops! I didn't even cast Mind Spike.
Oof.
I have that spell. That's why. I said
Anywho, and she was like, "You don't. I'm not sure you can understand how grateful I am. This is never matter. How can I repay you?"
That's
And she's talking to it you specifically, as if it
Yeah.
was only you who solved her missing mask problem.
right. Of course, not anybody else in the party. They're not important.
Well, Iku didn't even come over. Iku doesn't.
No,
Yeah.
Iko and Jabari are just watching. This is
Yep.
far more amusing.
Just like, because I
I'm just
had
reading a book. I'm missing this completely.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of what Yuna might say, but she's just like, how about we discuss it over a drink? Unless you want to get your ass handed to you again by that guy over there.
Hmm. I want to do a persuasion check, but I don't
Okay.
know how to do it. She wants to convince Yina that the asshole nudged the table.
That sounds like a deception check.
Yeah, it
to
would
me.
definitely be just
Deception versus insight.
Yeah, deception versus insight.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like. So you want me to roll insight?
It's very important for her reputation.
Yeah.
The problem
She's gonna
she
Make sure to
doesn't
use your
have.
lucky reroll.
She only has perception and stealth as skills on her character sheet, which I freaking hate how they do NPC character sheets on Roll20. Actually, that may be
Well,
the case
in this
for-
model.
Would you
Yeah.
like me to roll insight? Is the question.
Yes. Roll your insight.
Just do a d20 and
Oh,
add
nice.
her charisma.
That's
Although,
that's a double 9 right there. Mm-hmm. Yuna has not rolled. I have not rolled higher than an 8 on a d20 current.
Yeah,
currently.
you can just click the charisma and it'll roll.
Guess
'cause
what?
you have a proficiency.
She did not convince you though.
Well, there we go.
Oh.
You guys are just a bunch of blubbering idiots at each other right now. Like, you are trying to talk to her as a normal person, and she thinks that you're trying to impress her or to.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think what happens, I have the mental image here, is that she starts being like, oh, like that guy, like just he like had hit the table, and like Yuna puts like a hand on like her like on her forearm or something, just like physical contact, and she just stops. She's just like, wait a minute, hold on.
I haven't been touched since that fateful day.
What?
Her eyes start to sparkle, and the sakura petals fall from the sky.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's
you guys
happening.
asked for it. You...
Yeah, it's true. Senpai noticed me. Yep.
Wah, wah,
Just
wah,
like-
wah, wah.
Look,
Senpai will remember that.
I understand, and that's all that's important. Let's have a drink, talk about how you might reward me. Hmm?
Oh,
Whew.
let's talk
I
about how
was-
she might reward you.
She gets flustered.
I look at Jabari and I'm like, she might not make it back.
If she does make it back, she might need the 2 days Iku is asking for.
This is actually a really weird situation for Azaka because to put it in simplified terms, I would see Azaka's personality as a top, and she's like being put in a position like the way she's perceiving the interaction from Yina is
She's an awkward
she's
little
being
kitten. She doesn't
she's
know what to
being
do.
treated
Yep.
bottom.
Pretty much.
And
what's
she's like,
happening.
I don't know how to feel about this. I'm conflicted. But
Yuna,
I'm
it's the fact that
intrigued.
Yuna oozes confidence, and
Mm.
she's just like, I got this shit. Also, one of Yuna's flaws is she's a sucker for a pretty face. So
Azaka only has an 11 in charisma, but that doesn't mean she's not pretty. It just means that she's dense.
yeah,
think-
she just can't get her point across. Well, she can get her point across like a normal person can because she's got an 11 charisma. So
She's slightly better than the average person. She's just not better than
no,
Yina.
Yuna. I imagine Yuna probably doesn't have the same charisma as Jabari. but
Well, that's a good question. Where's yours at?
18.
Mine too.
Hey,
Good job,
we're
guys.
charisma
we're
buddy.
as
You guys are
charismatic.
obviously charisma mains.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
All right, well, we have 2 minutes. We have returned the mask to Azaka and derailed it into an anime unintentional date scene where one person obviously thinks it's something that it isn't and the other person thinks it's definitely not anything at all. At least that's what I read
Waxy
of
and I are
Yuna.
definitely hiding in the bushes while they're in like the lamplight in the park and like the petals are falling from the thing.
That's where like we like bloop bloop up above the hedge line.
With the little chibi heads, yeah.
Mhm. and like the fang smiles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
see if it actually comes.
Jabari and Iku are just like the people behind the service counter at the
Yeah.
at the
They're
restaurant.
like, this is fine.
This is fine.
But yeah, we could probably pick this back up because I haven't thought or even looked to see how Azaka does a rewarding for this. I feel like it's just like reimbursement for if she. Hold on.
It
Let me
would,
find it because it's here. It should be right. In front of me.
She will just work for free if you went to Firefinger to get that for her.
Oh.
That's pretty much it.
But I thought
we
it
have
was
two
she'll work
guides.
for free up until Firefinger. I thought it
No,
was
no. Her requirement was you go straight to Firefinger first, and then she'll stay with you the entire time.
Okay. that
Can we
makes
have
sense.
2 guides?
I don't want to complicate the
Yeah,
caravan too much, but like.
And just remember that these people can die too, and they won't come back.
Yeah, that sucks. I know. Look, Look, it's
Everybody
fine.
trying to lock down with Azaka.
Look,
I mean,
to Yina, flirting is a spectator sport. So
Hmm.
like,
mhm.
Even when participating?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
complicate
Especially when
life.
participating.
she just it has the assumption that there is an audience of some sort, and she knows there is because the rest of the party exists.
So today we learned that Yina is both a top and an exhibitionist, so that's good.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there we go.
By the way, I love you, Kelsa. That is amazing.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. What
Yeah,
happened?
dude.
What did you do, Kelsa?
Fine.
Kelsa, what did you do?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I want to worry about it. No, I feel
Don't
left
worry
out.
about it. It's fine.
don't look at chat.
Oh, I found chat.
Uh,
So yeah.
that seems like we fade out on the session with the weird flirt misunderstanding of this flirtatious scene.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a lot of missed signals going on here. It's gonna be a really awkward moment.
I and Zaru missed connections.
Yeah. God, and you guys are drinking, so that's gonna make things even less on the mark. Sounds like
My
things that
dog's
humans do. But yeah, with that, I guess we'll wrap up the show. Everybody, give your little shout outs. Sorry we were like a little bit late in getting started today. It kind of just ran a little over with the introduction bits and getting a couple things prepared on the stream. But otherwise, I don't know. We'll start with Yina first because we always start with either Kelsa or Brindis.
Hi everyone. My name is St. Guard, a variety streamer and sometimes GM at tabletop role-playing games. You can find me over at twitch.tv/St. Guard. On Saturday, I'm going to be playing more Phoenix Wright. You can listen to me have this kind of voice for Phoenix the entire time because, like, he's a sweet boy, and all he needs is to also be from Boston. It's fine. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at St. Guardlands, using with an LY at the end. And yeah, this was fun. It's great. Go watch me play Phoenix Wright.
How about Brindis? I guess we'll
Okay.
just keep going
Hi.
clockwise.
I'm Brindis of Party Wipe Games at Party Wipe Games on Twitter. You can normally catch us playing various forms of tabletop RPGs, whether it's Dungeons and Dragons, homebrew or published content, or playing things like Things from the Flood, which is what we were doing 2 days ago. That was a fun episode. Yeah. Tomorrow we won't be playing my partner's homebrew game because we have people that will be out. So I'm sure we'll find something to do. Maybe I'll put up a new game to play or something. A lot of stuff's come out this week, right? I
Hey,
think.
Rendis, I may not have anything to do. You want to play Monster Prom?
Sure, let's do that. Saint, you want into?
What
Kelsa?
time?
In the evening.
Wait, when? Which day?
Tomorrow?
May-
We can talk about it. We'll
Yeah, I
talk
was
about
gonna
Yeah,
say,
like,
depending
we'll
on
talk in
whether I have
Discord.
my mouse guard game or not, maybe.
it would be.
Depending when that starts, yeah.
I would need to sleep, so it would probably be an hour after this game's start time.
Oh,
See, the
then
thing
yeah,
about
I'm
about
down.
Fridays is I don't work on Saturdays, so that's a
Nice.
good thing.
Yeah, so we can work that out, and there's plenty of people in my Discord that also have it, so
Nice.
we won't be short on people who will want to play, especially since a number of them are in chat too.
Just keep the thirst going from D&D into Monster Prom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also be prepared to do voices because that is a thing we do. We voice.
That's the best thing to
everybody.
do.
Yeah.
I
Isn't
played
that the
Monster
reason the
Prom
game
with someone who
exists?
didn't do voices, and I was like, I'm ready to flip a table, and I'm like, what are you doing?
That's
Like,
Also, if
voice.
any,
quietly read the description to yourself, and I'm like, no.
if
you-
we're playing Monster Prom and anybody steals Vicky from me, my god.
Thanks
I
for
just want-
giving
I just
me
want the
a
tentacle girl.
goal. I guess.
You want Zoe? Zoe's great.
I,
Zoe's
I know nothing about Monster Prom at all. I'm really
Oh.
excited to actually go into it.
It's gonna be great.
I've seen
you're
some
gonna love
fan
it.
arts.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Everything
Jelly
you think
Girl's
you
cute.
know is wrong, and everything you will find out is amazing.
The Slayer is the best girl.
I just
Yeah.
want a robot boyfriend.
Slayer is the best girl, and Polly is best girl. I love all of Polly's stuff. Ultra Whiskey is my jam.
Cool.
All right, I'm done. You can move on.
Waxy's turn, or you're Kelsa, not Waxy.
Mhm.
Waxy
Hi.
is the cat. Kelsa is the human.
I'm Kelsa. You can find me on Twitter at Kelsa. Twitch and YouTube, it's Kelsa Delphi. On every other Monday, we are playing on Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands, which is a really fun mech anime. There's much flirt going on. There was a very flirting fight scene. That is what we ended last session with after the most amazing 1.5 hours of awkward conversation around a dinner table you've ever seen. It was really good times. So that's a lot of fun. And I also play over on the Greyhawk channel, more D&D on Tuesday mornings. So
Also,
Uh,
sorry to interrupt, but I just looked it up because you mentioned the name again. Somebody is really bitter about this game because there's only one rating and it got a 1 star.
What game?
Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands.
Oh, so
where?
on drive-through, 'cause
Drive-thru.
most people don't buy Firebrands on drive-through.
Mm.
Because I went to PAX when I went to PAX East. The last time I went to PAX East, I went and bought Firebrands, and usually you get it through Lumply Games, like
Mhm.
their site, rather than through drive-through.
Okay. Because
I don't like the way drive-through prints their books personally.
Yeah,
so
this
that may be
person
why
was
they're-
like, "Why did I pay $15 for 17 pages with no content?" And it's like, wow.
Wow.
It's like, first of all, you paid $15, so like, chill. It's not that much.
Yeah. Also, it's like 30 plus pages and it has content. Look at all those games. Look at
Right?
my basis for any text-based RP I do these days.
Wow.
I have totally bought a one-page game for $5 because
Yeah.
support game devs do it.
Exactly. So sorry, like you mentioned it, and I wanted to send it to a friend, and then I saw that, and I was like, "Why is it 1 star?"
Mm.
I had
Also,
no idea.
on
Obviously,
their
I'm not
direct
the-
site, it is $10. So drive-through
Yep.
RPG, what are you doing?
I don't know. That's why I was
Capitalism.
like, you get it through Lumply usually. So
Yeah, that's what I did when I got my copy. But it's a really fantastic game, actually. And that review does not know what they're talking about and probably didn't actually play the game.
Yeah.
It seems very just bitter about the game or the thing they had to do more of than the game itself.
They had expectations, and the game
Mm.
was probably not what they expected.
Well, it's a fantastic game, and if you want to know about it and see some action, come watch Love and Banterville Skype Dive over on my channel on Mondays. It's pretty great.
That's the one you do during my homebrew. I lurk, but I can't watch it.
Well, you can just go watch the VODs. It's fine. They're up on YouTube.
I have so
there you
many
go.
Wait, you do upload them to YouTube?
Yeah.
Awesome, because I need stuff to listen to while I'm at work.
Do it.
Dreading life.
Yeah, I'll put that on my VOD list. I have so many VODs to watch over the week.
I feel ya. But yeah, this last session was a lot of fun, and all of the sessions are 2 hours or less. We cap them either 4 mini games or 2 hours, hard cap, so you'll never have to worry about there being like a weird long game or.
No, then I will just binge this content because that's basically an adventure zone where you can get
Yeah.
through like 5 of them because they don't go very long.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I love playing role-playing games, and I'm looking forward to getting back out in the jungle and probably dying horribly.
What? No.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kelsa.
Yeah.
You knit and crochet, correct?
I knit more than crochet, but I mean,
Can you do complicated things? Because I have a thing that I need made.
I don't know, how complicated is this?
Like a plushie. I can send you. I think I put it
You
in
mean
the
like
Discord.
this?
Sorta, yeah, a little bit.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the little.
Could I commission you to make me cute plushy things I could get?
Potentially, depending on what, but we can talk about it for sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
It's true. I just have like random knitting stuff just all over my desk and my table and my everything.
I approve. I currently live in my grandmother's basement, and she has like a $40,000 embroidery machine that's like the size of 2 cars. So
Nice.
And there's this hat. Made this hat.
It's a hat.
it's a hat and a cat.
Hat
cat
and a
cat.
hat.
Cat
It's
hat.
a nice
in the
fruit.
Yeah,
hat.
put the
fruit
cat in the hat.
Hat cat.
She ran away, so I couldn't.
Mhm.
Hey Reese, how about you? Well, Chris, Reese, Shadow. I don't know. You have 3 names.
AKA.
I don't know whether you
Aliases.
obfuscate yourself on the internet or not. So-
Grado.
Too late for
So
that.
You guys can find me at twitch.tv/ReeseDragon. I am also a variety streamer. I talk about nonsense. I stream games. I look at Kelsa's awesome knitting things. You have a lot of octopi.
I do. That's my favorite thing to knit.
Well, the cool thing is I want flumps. Like, I want quantities of
all in all
flumps.
I mean, they are
so-
pretty close.
One flump just broke him. Just broke him.
No,
I
it
also
wasn't.
have-
It wasn't so much that. It was. There's this company nearby me in Pennsylvania that makes these plushies that are like Bahamut's. So, some Satan stuff. But they also do D&D things, and I saw the flump ones, and they were cute.
I also have a beholder that I made.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's downstairs.
Be beheld.
Basically, I took the octopus arms and I just took 10 of them and attached them to a overstuffed hacky sack. Essentially.
I mean, it sounds efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also knit the hacky sack, but
It's all good. It's all it is what it is.
it is what it is indeed. Yeah, I like making crafty things and some arts.
Yeah. Sometimes I draw.
I
Hey, Reese Dragon, were you done? We kind of just ran you off the road super hard.
Also follow me at the Facebooks and the Twitters at the same name, Reese Dragon. I am everywhere.
Rock and roll.
But besides that, we're all good.
Yeah, and I'm Outro, and I will be probably streaming a whole bunch of Magic Arena this weekend, and then I will be participating in the Wizards of the Coast War of the Spark
I need that to come out
pre-release
right now.
event, which starts at, I believe it's 2 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, they are providing me with a special preview account, which I get all the cards. So a lot of people are just going to go in and do drafts. I'm going to look at the whole set, kind of critique it compared to the other cards that are in the current standard set. See if we can come up with like a good, theory crafting. That's the words I was looking for. Do some theory crafting, make some janky goof decks, and then do some drafts and stuff like that. Probably be streaming from 6 o'clock Eastern until I fall asleep. And that's on Tuesday, but I'm sure I'll just be, I don't know, boosting the hell out of it on every social media outlet that I'm on. So, yeah. Other than that, right now I haven't really been gaming a lot because I took apart my streaming station and never put it back together because I'm lazy. But that'll be done this weekend. So we'll be back up and running on Friday. Yeah. On Twitter, I have a different number at the end of my name. It's 42 instead of 1. So if you want to check me out there, feel free. Other than that, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you next week.
Hi, guys.
Bye-bye.
How's it going, everybody?